Simpson. And Japan have gone absent without leave. This is Whitmore. Paul and Gale both available. It's still Whitmore. It is the Reggae Boys who take the lead.
BallChat. Football family, we're back. Welcome to BallChat, a football show. Or should we call it the football show? We don't know how we go. We discuss football over here. So my name is Benton. Junior Wagwan family, how you stay?
Why, we're back again. I feel renewed. I feel about the energy. I feel like I'm ready.
Junior, get closer to the mic. I mean, also from Vibes Cartel, they are road, aka the bleacher. You don't want to talk in a mic,
Audio check one.
Junior, from Vibes Cartel, they are road. Me notice you don't want to talk in a talkaphone, brother.
That does
get
sound
close
better.
to the mic.
That does sound better?
That sounds a lot better. Just turn up your audio a little bit, family. BallChat football show, ready up. Football family, welcome to another big club football season, European club football season getting ready to kick off. This weekend, EPL kicking off tomorrow, and La Liga start today. We'll look at La Liga, look at Bundesliga, look at Italian League, and it's all about football. This is a football show. My name is Benton. That's Junior, the part of the family. Cameroon is not here. In fact, we probably won't see Cameroon for a while until Chelsea get themselves right. But Cameroon is out and about. Big up yourself, Cameroon. We have some new listeners, Junior. New subscribers. So welcome them, family.
Yeah, well, big up to all the new subscribers that joined us during the summer watch-along shows. Benton was a great idea because the family definitely grew over the summer, so big up on yourself. We're getting ready for a weekly show now, so get ready, line up on yourself because this is when BallChat run hot.
Yeah, this is when BallChat truly run hot. So big up to all the family. Hopefully is a slew of Arsenal fans. Hopefully it's a slew of Arsenal fans. The way we do it for those new listeners, it's live, interactive. Of course, we're live. You're seeing us. Yeah. See the live button in the corner. Right. We're very interactive. We highly encourage engagement. So if a fan and a family want to send on comments, we normally don't do calling, but some shows we will do calling when it gets a little bit hectic and heavy. BallChat family, we will do call-ins hopefully sometime, but rather let people type and exercise their fingers. So big up. Boy, Junior, we miss you. How you enjoy the summer, family?
Why? I forget thanks for the blessings and we can see another day, right? But from a football perspective, I enjoy the summer, but I'm worried about the players because there's a lot of football players. You realize this summer is a lot of tournaments from Copa, Euros, Olympics, under 17, when Jamaica get their head beat off. It's just a lot of football. But summer is great. How about yours? Under 20.
Yeah, men's under 20 tournament, yeah. Junior, turn up your microphone a little bit for me, please, family. Yo, can run with a few new subscribers. BM, big up yourself, family. Junior, you're about the Olympics. What a disaster. Thank God it's over. Football time again. Yo, Junior, so BM, Wagwan, you now watch MLS?
MLS. You're sure? Say my mic want turn up?
Yeah, man. Yeah, because I have you on max. So yeah, that's a lot better. I have you on max.
But we're not redlining though, right?
No, man. You're not a red line, man. You're good.
All right.
Before we get to actual club football, family, some reportedly breaking news coming out of U.S. men's soccer our U.S. men's national team looking to hire Mauricio Pochettino. It's big news. Even CNN, when CNN report football news, it says big news. CNN have it as Mauricio Pochettino to become new U.S. manager, New York Times. And I think I want to highlight the journalist that broke the news. So, I'll find the journalist name that broke the news. Junior, you've been on record of advocating for this hire. Of course, we haven't gotten anything officially from U.S. Men's or U.S. Soccer Federation. But your thoughts, man? It looked like it's inevitable Mauricio Pochettino is going to get the U.S. men's national team job.
Yeah, and it's. I think it's a good hire. I think it took too long though, and I know Klopp was the sexy name that everybody wanted, and then they threw around London Donovan and all kind of crap names. But Pochettino should have been the second name called quickly after the first one turned them down. But the jury will be out because even though America is not a football power, the fan base is still a little weird, and the players in the national team seem to be a little weird too. So Pochettino will have to win them over, win the players over first, then win over the fans. But from a tactical perspective, I think America, the talent that they have, matches what Pochettino brings to football. So tactically, it's a match made. Now, can they work together? Jury will be out.
Ivan Kazanziu and Mark Ogden of ESPN both reported that story early. Even Mark Ogden, in fact, I think took it a step further, saying that Mauricio Pochettino debut will be in a friendly game against Jesse March, Canada on September 7th. Average manager for your average team. Well, CONCACAF big team, but globally is an average team. So the intention is to try to win the World Cup. And he's probably the second best available manager. Can he win the World Cup? No. There's nothing but he will probably take them with a favorable draw deep into the tournament. There's a lot for Mauricio Pochettino's teams. We saw recently at Chelsea, his last job, where they started out slow, but he ended the season well. I guess when I don't know, someone said, well, when his back was against the wall, they were playing some good football at Chelsea before him and Chelsea decided to part ways. So time will tell. I think regardless of who coach Team USA, they have to figure out that creative role. Gio Reyna seems to be the one that got the shirt from, the now sack bug Greg Berhalter. I don't think Gio Reyna is someone you can hang your hat on if you want to really dominate big teams. It's me idea. You will dominate CONCACAF, soft soap, lack of intestinal fortitude teams, soft teams. But when it comes to doing well at the World Cup and making some serious noise, but a good hire. It would be nice to know the package, how much money. I love watch the money still, so it would be nice to see what sort of deal. And we don't know how Pochettino got the Chelsea money, take on himself, then him get the next big money over here, so no. Hey, Junior, you got the next big money over here, so no.
Well, you sound hateful though.
Got the Chelsea money, then he got the next big money over here, so right. All right, what a transfer. Let's get to club football, family. And, let me actually put this chat stream key in so the people can chime in. By the way, just to clarify, are we on X?
No, Dr. Elon Musk You got to pay to go on X.
Oh, so we have to
We'll
pay
think
to
about it.
stream, to live stream on X.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
You have to become a blue check account.
Okay, okay. All right. So no, so if you know someone who normally listens on X, just let them know that BallChat didn't go away. BallChat just take we cell phone at the other place. Check us out on YouTube, Facebook, other places where we're not enable no dirty drunk. Yo.
Well, you might see us on there this Sunday. You never know.
All right, let's get to the preview show now and get ready. EPL action kicking off tomorrow, Junior. This is a time of year where football fans of the EPL gets excited. This is another year for Arsenal fans to rally and get ready again. Junior, Fulham versus Manchester United tomorrow. How you feeling, family? How you feeling?
I mean, you see before because as everybody should be following the news, you know that Man U signed Delete and Mazwari, right? And they also signed Lenny Euro and Xerxes. But prior to signing Delete and Mazwari, I was feeling like nothing changed for Man U. Euro out for the next 4 months. Xerxes, we haven't seen him kick a ball yet. So that signing though made me feel a little bit more confident that we can fight for top 4. That's how I feel as a Manchester United fan. As a football fan, I'm happy to see that club football is back tomorrow. But again, you're gonna hear me say this throughout the year. I am worried about the amount of football these players are playing. And let me just say it, Chelsea might be onto something.
Chelsea might be what?
It might be onto something. We might be seeing clubs increasing the roster size to accommodate.
We'll get to Chelsea in a minute. Never get for them corner take care. Some housekeeping matters regarding the Premier League. This is Harry Winter, and there are some changes coming to how VAR is handled for this season in the Premier League, family. Most notably, there's a Premier League Match Center hub which would try to help understand the decisions to improve transparency and communication. There is semi-automatic offside technology anticipated to reduce check delays by 31 seconds. So ultimately, they're supposed to be maintain a high threshold for intervention, aim for minimum interference from the referee, aka, as the same thing in cricket where umpires call, stand, referee call, stand. Junior, the referee now will communicate in some pilot scenario, will communicate inside the stadium in a test or pilot sense. In a pilot case, the announcement, the VAR decisions. Do these things make these 6 main points? And you can check out Henry Winter or any football major outlet, BBC, Sky Sports, and etc. They have these things. Check out PremierLeague.com. Junior, do these main things improve? Do you expect them to improve VAR this year? Because quite a few fans really already bun VAR, aka hates it.
I don't think these changes are. I don't think the goal of these changes were to make VAR better. I think the goal for these changes were to make the football product that is being packaged and streamed for this money that we have to pay per month. I think these changes is made for TV changes, because referee talking to the stands, the people in the stands now care. It's the people that watching the TV that watch the replay 500 times and see the line and blah, blah, blah. We are the ones that will be communicated to. And this the timing of it, we always hear people complaining about how long it was taking and blah, blah, blah. So this is all made for TV, in my opinion.
Yeah, but yeah, of course, you have to take care of the money side of things. So, three main points for VAR this season in the EPL. One, maintain high threshold for intervention from the referee. Two, reduce delays with semi-automated offside technology. Three, improve fan experience. Referee to announce VAR decisions in pilot case. Four, improve VAR training and consistency. I hope you do that already. Five, improve transparency and communication with the Premier League Match Center Hub. Check them out at Premier League Match Center Hub. Them want your help. Them are going to help we understand the decisions. And six, develop ongoing education campaign to improve club, fan, media understanding of VAR. Yo! Why this thing so that the last point really kind of really get at me. I don't really need to understand VAR operation. I don't need to hear what you are talking about between you and the people them at the VAR center. I just want, bottom line, follow the rules and call the player correctly. I don't care. And this does not address the marginalized offside calls that we have seen. When a man offside by a toenail, I guess the semi-automated offside technology should deal with this, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that's the only thing I care about, because, well, that's one of the main situations I care about. You have some things that happened last year where a man thinks that the call on the field, was it during the Liverpool Spurs game where he thought the call on the field was what? An offside when it was actually an onside for a goal, and when it was actually offside. So those things are gonna be important to rectify as we go into the Premier League. BM says, what are your thoughts on Spain dominating internationally? Women's World Cup, men's Olympics, and Euros in the last 12 months. Yeah, we just left international football, but Junior, we can answer that question quickly from BM. Your thoughts on Spain dominating the summer? Women's, well, not the summer, but the dominant Women's World Cup. They won the men's Olympic and they won the Euros.
I mean, I don't know if we can accredit it to something other than just timing. But I mean, Barcelona women's team, that's basically what is fueling Spain's women's team, right? So that dominance eventually would have taken hold. And for the men's, we've seen a revolution in the Spanish players. We've seen them gotten younger and gotten better overnight. Because we're talking about what name? Yeah, Lamine and
Nico Williams and Yamil.
Nico Williams, yeah.
Lamil Yamal.
And Olmo. They have some ballers that this generation just come around now and the timing is right. And France seem to be drunk with squad depth. I think the squad depth drunken for them. And Germany, everybody is retooling. So the timing is right for the men's team. But the women's team, I think, yes, they dominated, I think, partially because of Barcelona's dominance. But look out for America now, because America seems to be back. So we'll see how long this dominance lasts.
And Spain women did not win the Olympic gold medal, which was somewhat of a bit of a surprise there, So, in fact, they didn't even make it to the final.
Yeah, Brazil beat them.
Yeah, Brazil defeated them in the semi-final, right?
Right, but the way how Brazil beat them, though, that is their Achilles heel. That is the Spanish women Achilles heel.
Yeah, it's the counter-attacking football. Yeah. But also, it's probably a reason also that to BM's point regarding the women's team, this team has really played a lot of football over the last 12 months. And I think that Brazil game was that they were ripe for the picking, and not just at the club football level, but at the international level. And so, you can, I attribute that defeat to more or less. Brazil played well and executed well, but also I think Spain was toothless. And some of that I kind of put towards exhaustion. But Brazil was excellent in that football game. Excellent.
Yeah, and Spain was unlucky. And you're right. I agree with you. They got up on the wrong side of the bed. And Brazil was ruthless in attack. They were very ruthless with their chances. They took their chances. While Spain squandered a lot of chances. Brazil goalkeeper made some saves in that game.
Yeah, when Salma on, she on. When Salma off, she off, and then Caldente and the others, But regarding Spain and Spain is really our true model of, you hear certain man talk about how Jamaica have a copy Belgium and Harsted and Comfort. If Jamaican football authorities, our leaders, can get their house in order, Spain is a thing for model, because what you recognize is that the teams play the same way. So that means from a young age, you them a play pass football, position football, technically competent. When you look on the men's team, though now they have two speedsters on the wing in Nico Williams and Yamal, their control and technical ability is outstanding. So if you notice, sometime in the Euros, a Yamal would have go in a midfield, almost like in a 10 roll, a pick-up ball and a pass ball. And what does that say to me is that at the youth level, they instructed them, play a ball. It's not kick and run down ball, because right now in our world football, you have some man who are winger who them just fast and full. I'm not throwing a word on Anthony still, but
I thought we were talking about Vinicius Jr.
No, I'm just going to call Anthony still. Speaking of Vinicius. Because it's a football show, we can't stay wide of this. We couldn't not do this due diligence. Real Madrid won their first trophy probably after season. There probably will be more, but most importantly, Junior, your baller, our baller, Killy was in the Royal Whites, Junior. What did you see from that game?
What I saw from the game, you see, part of us with art. Is two things that came to me looking into the La Liga season. Atletico Madrid is putting all their eggs in my boy from City basket, right?
Which boy? From Julian Alvarez?
Julian Alvarez, yeah. Putting all the eggs in that basket, right? Barcelona, Hansi Flick. There was a report that came out, and some of the players are talking about the difference between Hansi Flick and Xavi. I don't know if you saw that. You saw what Hansi Flick is doing at Barcelona, right?
No, the filming.
Before Xavi, them say all they did with Xavi is everybody touched the ball and we played. Our practice is all about knocking the football, right? Hansi Flick, no more balling upon the field, is all about fitness. All about fitness. And he brought in apparently two genius fitness coaches to come in, and the goal is to get everybody at Barcelona fit that they can run for 90 minutes. Nothing but hard running for 90 minutes, right? I said all that to say, when you watch the Atalanta game, on one hand you can say, well, Real Madrid, they're still in preseason form and they're still trying to work out the chemistry and blah, 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 right? But what did Atalanta do to Real Madrid that put them off for the first half? Is a straight man-to-man. They played like Uruguay. basically. That's how Atalanta played. They played just like Uruguay, man to man all over the field, and were running with you. And Real Madrid struggled with it for the first 45 minutes. Why? Because now you have a bunch of players on one team, because you don't have Cruz anymore. Madrid was on the bench. Camavinga is hurt, so he wasn't in the game. But you have Vinicius Jr., Rodrigo, Jude Bellingham, Mbappe, all want the ball at their feet, right? And they're not into knocking the ball quickly. Bellingham will play the ball a little bit quicker, but Vinicius and Rodrigo will hold the ball more. I say all that to say, look out for Barcelona this year. If the players buy into what Hansi Flick is selling and they get fit and they are able to run at this Real Madrid team in the El Clasicos, and couple that with the Lamia, Lamia said name? Couple that with what them learned from a youth system all the way up. Barcelona might be dangerous. So what I saw in the game is probably the Achilles heel of Real Madrid. The alarm bells must be going off. Chouameni did a shift, but I think I have a funny feeling Real Madrid might not be as invincible as I think they're going to be this year.
I mean, there will be an adjustment period. This is Real Madrid. I think won a game without a lot of real serious competitive football. We saw them some preseason games, but some of them just kind of met them on the run gum. And some of the players them actually were off. Some of the big players I think were off for some of those games. I do expect, well, let me not say I do expect. How about this? The jury's out on Hansi Flick Barcelona, because Hansi Flick is an enigma to me as a manager. Hansi Flick was excellent at Bayern Munich, then took over the German job and flop. All right? So Hansi Flick at Barcelona, I don't know what we're going to get. If you are trying to put fitness football and players, okay, great, but bottom line, you have to win football games. We saw Barcelona play Monaco in a friendly game one year, and I think Monaco defeated them. In fact, I think Monaco defeated them quite handedly, and Hansi Flick was a bit pissed off. So, I thought he was a little bit too pissed off, but I understand that the season is coming up. And it's not like you're in a preseason in America. No, you're back in your backyard in Europe, and Monaco move you off of the field. So I say all of that to say this: let's not get carried away on Barcelona. The season going to start, and we're going to see it. Barcelona got Dani Olmo, and we'll talk about La Liga in a few minutes. But we'll talk about La Liga in a few minutes. But Real Madrid for me was just sitting down watching Mbappe, Rodrigo, and yes, you're right. The ball is only 1 football, and you have 3-4 ballers who want the ball, so they have to figure out a way to share the ball. Right. And I do fundamentally think that Real Madrid at some point need to commit to getting a real number 10, and Jude Bellingham is not a 10 for me. All right, Jude Bellingham can drop back and play right beside Tchouameni, and in some instances he may do that. But when a team lock down Jude Bellingham and say, yo, you are my whatever this ball game, can Jude Bellingham pull the passes still like a Luka Modric when in prime and those ballers? Because those wide players and Mbappe will have to play a more effective role to pull any sort of locking down of Jude Bellingham. So we will see. I mean, he does have flexibility though, in the sense that sometimes in La Liga I'm not going to see a heap of competition, right? Other than from Atletico and Barca. But I'll be watching La Liga a lot more this year. But it's just good to see Kylian Mbappe achieve his dream of being a Real Madrid player. And of course, with the Cristiano Ronaldo celebrations.
I, but I just add to Bellingham before, and I said this last year, at times last year, when they get us real striker, how does that affect Bellingham? Because Bellingham likes to roam, right?
Yeah.
And in the game, he and Mbappe clash for space a couple times. And that's why Mbappe even, and I think that's what BM was referencing when he said, looks like Mbappe will be adjusting his game to play on a center forward at Madrid.
Yes.
There were times when Mbappe wanted to be the target man, but you saw Bellingham making the same run into that space.
Yes.
In the second half, I saw Mbappe drop back in the midfield, in the center, and collect the ball a couple of times. And I even saw him went out to the left, where the commentator even said,
yes.
I know Mbappe is somewhere that he feels more comfortable.
And
that's when Bellingham started to influence the game more.
Yeah.
Things like those have to look out for, because it will be good if it all clicks and all work out. But when you have a Cruz or you have a Madrid, in the middle of all of the glitz and glamour, you have that steel. You have that person that create that flexibility, but create some form of synergy on the field. That might be missing this year. We'll see if Kamavinga can play that role. We'll see if Chouameni can play that role. We'll see.
Yeah, but I mean, with all that being said, I don't want to be a negative Nancy when it comes to Real Madrid. This is the defending champion, and this the big side in a football. All right. So when we talk about the club football champions, the champion of UEFA and champion of Europe, right? And if there's any manager to have this team to figure it out, is Carlo Ancelotti. All right, Carlo Ancelotti. There's none of them baller with upon Real Madrid. There, it's not them not frost by Carlo is not frost by none of them, because he has seen big ballers and probably bigger ballers and know how to move people around. And if a man don't want to adapt, a man can go all a seat. Also, I am very curious and excited to watch Arda Güler this year. We saw how he did in the Euros for Turkey. He's a youth where Wasi, and you can't just keep him on the bench. But Real Madrid is quite flexible in that front three. And Mbappe sometimes I go drift right, sometimes he's going to be on the left. Down the middle, flexibility is going to be important. So Real Madrid will play Sunday, so Grant, I'll be looking forward to the game. All right. Premier League time, family. Premier League. When we get to the English Premier League, the most watched football league, the most lucrative club football league. And it's so lucrative, Junior, that the most expensive signing this transfer window in the Premier League goes a little something like this. You have man called Dominic Solanke, goes from Bournemouth to Spurs, £65 million transfer. Junior, what? Have Spurs solved their goal scoring issues from last year with the Solanke move?
Let's see how we adjust to life in the Premier League.
Yo, convert this to US dollars there for it.
£65 million, that might be about
80, 90 US.
Nah, it's about 70
something US.
Yeah, 70 probably 70, 75. But you do realize though that let me see. You do realize though that the football landscape have changed. That the most expensive transfer this year is 65 million.
Well, so far the window is not closed, right? So the window will close September, August 31st, right?
Yeah, but the big money transfers normally happen early.
Yeah, but we can't lot.
83 million.
83 million US. Okay. And maybe the rate would have been more favorable at the time of the transfer. So 83 million US dollars. I don't know if there's gonna be any more big money transfer this transfer window, big money move this
Ever.
transfer window. But I rather than say the landscape has changed, I will wait and see until the transfer window closes. The Premier League teams still have a lot of money, and
Remember, FFP kicks in next year. They don't.
different form of FFP. I could run through it. All right. So the top most expensive signing this transfer window in the Premier League, Lenny Euro, is the second most with 58 million pounds. Pedro Neto, Chelsea with 54. Amadou Onana goes to Aston Villa for 50. Matt DeLitt, Manchester United, 42.7 million pounds. Ricardo Calafiori, Arsenal, 42 million pounds. Max Kelman, West Ham, 40 million pounds. Ian Matson, Aston Villa, 37.5 million pounds. As Joshua Zirkzee, Man United, 36.5 million. And Elliot Anderson to Nottingham Forest for 35 million. Who is brother Elliot Anderson? Who him?
I don't know, guy.
Most expensive. What jumps out
you-
on this list for you, family?
Say that again.
Most expensive transfer so far in the Premier League. What jumps out for you on this list?
There is no Liverpool. There is no Liverpool on this list, and that
there's no Liverpool.
that is screaming a lot. There's no Arsenal.
Yeah,
on
no
this.
Liverpool transfer yet. I mean, they did make a move of Zubimendi, and Zubimendi turned down
him
the
down.
approaches. Zubimendi of Real Sociedad. It would have been a huge transfer, though.
Yeah, and with Arne Slot's first year, you have to wonder. One has to wonder what is going on at Liverpool. But there's no way he can come in and say the team is ready to compete this season. No way. So he must want a change.
BM, the Manchester United fan said, I am not excited about Euro and Xerxes. The lit is okay, I guess. Junior, Manchester United fan, Junior, Lenny Euro, Matt DeLitt. Three transfers on this expensive list for Manchester United. Xerxes, Matt DeLitt, Lenny. Your thoughts on these transfers as a Man United fan?
I said it last year, coming in. Remember I said it up. I don't expect Manchester United to make any big $100 million signing or no sexy signing. That was my expectation in the last year. I wanted them to build more steel and build a squad, build up the squad depth, which they did. So, DeLitt, you have on one hand, you have people saying DeLitt can't fight out Dyer at Bayern Munich. Eric Dyer left Tottenham, went to Bayern Munich, and sent DeLitt to the bench, right? So we, as a Manchester United fan, I am going now thinking that we have a defender that another coach that went to the Champions League semi-final thinks Dyer is better than Eric Dyer that we used to laugh at, right? But then on the other hand, you say, if you were to rank the central defenders that Manchester United have right now, just rank them on pedigree. Is DeLitt in the top two? The answer is yes. Without a doubt, he's one of the two best defenders at Manchester United right now. So it's a good signing on that end. They paid 80 million or 89 million for Harry Maguire. They paid almost 100 for Anthony. And now you're paying 42 million with escalators. I can probably bring it up to 50. It's a 42 million pound deal, but you have escalators and achievables if it turns into 50 million. Now you're bringing in a brother that was the captain of Ajax at a young age, went to the Champions League, semi-finals or finals, captaining Ajax, played at Juventus, played at Bayern Munich, won titles at Juventus, won titles at Bayern Munich, won titles at Ajax. And you're bringing him for half of Maguire. Nothing wrong with that transfer. Xerxes is a goal scorer. He's also a number 10. Nothing wrong with that transfer, in my opinion. Euro, Real Madrid wanted Euro. And Manchester United beat Real Madrid to Euro. Do we need to say anything else? Real Madrid, the gold standard in football, wanted Euro, and Man U beat them out. Case closed. So it is, I think, and Mazarari, Luke Shaw hurt. Before the first game of the season, him hurt. Him not play since, January or February. Not play for the rest of the season. Went to the Euros. Didn't play for the first games in the Euros. Came out in the semifinals, played in the finals. Came back to training and hurt. So Mazari is also a great signing because even though he's a right back, he's left-footed. He can use his left foot. So he can play as a left back. So Man U, I think, finally has a squad that in games that them lose last year, I do expect them to lose them this year.
All right. I mean, I asked you about the signings and you got on one bugger.
But I tell you the truth. And that's why we're here. We are experts. We are experts.
You know what? I think the big thing for Manchester United, keep the players healthy. Just like any one of these teams, any team. Bottom line, keep your players healthy. And the medical staff, whatever Manchester United invested in the offseason, I hope they should have doubled the medical staff or hire better medical people because they had a laundry list of injuries last year, right? So ultimately, it's not a good start. Lenny picked up a knock in the preseason. He's out for a while, but I think ultimately for Man United, medical staff need to keep the people them healthy, and then we'll get a fair assessment on Mr. Ten Hag and this Man United team. You know, defensively, these are upgrades. I mean, you build more depth. Matt Dillett comes in. I mean, you don't have to worry about a Johnny Evans or have to put Casemiro in centre back in desperate situations. So the bottom line for Manchester United, keep just like any team anywhere, keep your people healthy. But it's good to have depth, and with this depth, Man United fans probably should forget about playing pretty football. Ultimately, counter-attacking football, especially against the bigger teams, seems to be the most effective way for this outfit. And if that's going to get you games and get you points, then just live with it and play that, and don't worry about the extra noise. When man say, yo, we don't play this, that, and that football. No. Just play your ball game. New coaches in the Premier League this year, family. Arnold Slot, at Liverpool, is the man with the responsibility for Liverpool. Junior. We saw Arnold Slot type football in the preseason. Some similarities to the legendary Jurgen Klopp. Still want to play that tempo. Still want to play that position football. Your thoughts on what you have seen of Arnold Slot football? Of course, formerly of Feyenoord, now at Liverpool. What you have seen of Liverpool in the preseason? What you expect from Arnold Slot?
Okay, I expect some challenges for him, but if he can hit the ground running and win over the fans, because I think with like I said, the legendary Jurgen Klopp, it's hard to replace a legend. It's hard to fill those shoes. And you know, the second something goes awry, you're going to start comparing. We're going to start saying, you remember with Klopp, Liverpool would have found a way to score here. I remember with Klopp, Liverpool would not have gone down. So he has to guard himself against those things. While you were talking, I was thinking about Liverpool and thinking to myself, you know, maybe it's a good thing that he didn't come in and upset the apple cart by trying to change the roster. Maybe it's a good thing that he's going to come in and say, look, you guys are all a great team, great players. You had a great coach. I am not here to reinvent the wheel. Let's continue what we're doing. That's the vibe I got from them in the preseason. Let's see how it transfer into the regular season.
Yeah, man.
I think they go to Old Trafford the third game of the season.
Huh?
That's going to be big. Yeah, I think Liverpool plays Man U in the third game of the season. That's going to be a big test for him because it does the first taste of that rivalry, and those are the potholes he had to look out for. The first game of the season, first road game, those are the things he need to look out for. The first time playing against Pep, we'll see. I think the jury is out. I think Liverpool was already limited last year, and I think Klopp did a masterful job papering over the cracks. And with Slot, for whatever reason, going the route of not making any changes, you have to think to yourself, you're playing with fire. Thiago Alcantara is at Barcelona right now, being Answer Flick's translator, basically. So we'll see. I think the jury's out on Liverpool. I know Liverpool fans, some are always hating on them, but we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, just running through the new managers quickly before we get actually to the Premier League. Enzo Maresca at Chelsea, and with all the pasa, we'll talk about Chelsea more specifically regarding their potential prediction this year. We saw Enzo Maresca's Chelsea here in the US. Enzo got Premier League team Ipswich, or Leicester City, promoted. No, he's at Chelsea. Junior, I mean, I'm struggling to find my words here, but you know, it's the Pep Light Enzo Maresca.
But it's what the hell? If I was a Chelsea fan, I'm gonna play come on right now. What the hell? What the hell are we doing? Can we pick our best level? Can we say these are a one-to-one match substitute for my best level? And can I keep an extra 2 man and call up my squad? What the hell? What are we doing? Yeah, I think that we have 7 goalkeepers or something like that, the sign or something like that. What the hell? Is my question. And Enzo, you say he's Pep's clone.
Yeah, he comes from Pep's school of manager, coaching school, so to speak.
Right, and another manager that came, many managers came from Pep's lineage. Another manager that came from Pep's lineage is Arteta. When Arteta went to Arsenal, what did Arteta do his first year? He skinned out the squad. He gutted the squad, right? And I think Chelsea is in a similar position like Arsenal was when Arteta took over. And what ends up coming, or what did Enzo inherit? A bloated squad that continues to get bloated. So, what is Pep's lineage? Because we have 2 coaches that came out of his lineage, and they're both going opposite directions in squad building. What is Pep's mode of operation? Are these coaches going willy-nilly, or does Enzo not have any control over the signings in or out? I am picking the last one. I think that's the right answer. For whatever reason, Chelsea signs all these players. For whatever reason, Chelsea extend all these players. Cole Palmer and
Well, Nicholas Jackson is not done yet. They're working.
yeah, no, but the Argentinian, why am I trying to blank on the name, man? But 7 years.
Yeah, so Palmer got an additional what? How many years? 9 years total?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you are Enzo Maresca coming in, you really can't sit down and say, I'm going to evaluate my squad and figure out who is in and who is out. Yeah, we already know who some of your starters have to be. And you cannot find anybody better than those players because a man is sitting there for the next 9 years. Ain't no team coming in to transfer those players. So we will see. I said earlier that Chelsea might be on to something because with the schedule the way it is, with the players playing all these games, if there's one team that can never say they have an injury crisis, it's Chelsea. They will never have an injury crisis for probably the next 5 to 10 years. So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, we will ultimately see, but other manager we want to highlight before we get to our prediction. West Ham have a new man. The man called Mr. Julian Lopetegui is in charge of West Ham. Of course, the sacking of David Moyes. Julian Lopetegui did quite well with Wolves, right? So, you know, he knows football. This is Julian Lopetegui that was once heir apparent at Real Madrid, actually had the Real Madrid job, Spain manager, so he knows football. So ultimately the question is, Junior, does Julian Lopetegui has his people, our team, to play Julian Lopetegui football at West Ham?
Yes. And when it comes to transitioning, West Ham play David Moyes football, right? Lopetegui's football is, I put it this way, David Moyes football is a poor man's Lopetegui's football. A poor man's version of Lopetegui's football. David Moyes football is a Timu version of Lopetegui football. So I think they're going to transition up. I expect West Ham to play some better football this year. I think the players are not going to be asked to do too much, but they're going to be asked to expand themselves a little bit more. And I think that transition is going to be well. I think West Ham is primed for a bounce back here.
Okay. Fabian Holzer takes over at Brighton. Of course, Brighton, Roberto De Zerbi moved on. Yeah, the man did want big work, but big work never materialized, aka a higher profile position. I don't know anything about Fabian Holzer's football and what do I expect from Brighton. We know Brighton has young, talented players. Your thoughts on his role and what do you expect from him and Brighton?
West Ham is going to have the big jump this year. I think Brighton is going to have the big fall this year, and a lot of teams.
Okay. All right. Yeah, Junior, your audio went out because your audio just went out, so we can't hear you no more. Yeah. Football family, apologies there. You know, Junior is on summer break, flex, and his audio went out, and also part of it, his audio probably was a bit low. Big up to all listeners listening online as Junior figure out his audio. Regin.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear. In fact, keep your finger on that exact button and don't move. All right, you were saying about Fabian Holzer taking over at Brighton.
I think Brighton is prime for the fall this year. I think Brighton can fall off this year. They're going to be like the new Southampton. We saw Southampton go through all these years of pumping out players and pumping out coaches until eventually the bottom fall out. So Brighton, you're baggy about for drop this year.
No, but I mean, Brighton does have a system in place. And director Tony Bloom, I think his name. And what Brighton has done is that, and I've shown, is that the coach, as long as the coach has sense, they can navigate the storm of the Premier League. Graham Potter left. They picked up De Zerbi, who's no soft soap in terms of manager. He's pretty competent. And they continue to be competitive. So I expect Brighton's machine in terms of recruitment and scouting, because they scouted well in the coaching space and they've scouted well in the players space in terms of young players. I expect Brighton to still remain competitive, mid-table team, and still remain in the Premier League.
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead, Junior.
Wasn't this the same thing that was said about Southampton?
Yes, same thing was said about Southampton. But as a person who follows Southampton closely, well, same thing with deviations in Southampton at the latter end that kind of went to the dog. Southampton had Claude Puel. Southampton started to spend a lot of money on high-end transfers like Graciano Pele and others. And they did deliver. So whereas Brighton is not necessarily doing the exact same thing, right? Brighton is not spending a significant amount of the income on high-end transfers. You know, this is why Brighton don't make it, because Southampton made it to, I think, a League Cup final and lost to Manchester United. I think that was Jose Mourinho's only, one of two trophies Jose Mourinho won with Man United, I think, right? So it's a different playbook. I think Tony Bloom and Brighton know what they're doing, and until I see otherwise, I expect Brighton to stay in the English Premier League. I mean, until I see otherwise, I expect Brighton to stay. They've recruited well in terms of coaches, and I expect them to continue to stay in the Premier League.
Heard it all before.
Yeah. All right, now we can get to the actual business, because they're all new managers. I mean, yes, Leicester City have a new manager, but it's not really a new manager. It's just, well, I guess we should recognize Steve Cooper, right? Mm-hmm. Who's now Leicester City, but him new, but him old. I mean, come on, we know Steve Cooper. All right, now to the new boys, Junior. Leicester City, Ipswich, Southampton back in the Premier League. Bottom line, what are their responsibility, family? What are you looking forward from these football teams?
I'm looking forward to Renaissance, especially for Leicester City. Years removed from a great title run, and it feels like so far a tragic helicopter accident, and the team just hasn't recovered since then. Hopefully, this is their renaissance period.
What kind of renaissance? Look on the team. It's the same people. Wilfred Ndidi. Wilfred Ndidi, big up yourself. Wilfred Ndidi is probably about 100 years old.
At least he's experienced.
You know, so Hazma Chadauri. Harry Winks from Tottenham. I mean, what kind of renaissance you expect? I mean, they do have some young players, but
survive.
And big up to the Jamaican Brandon Cover. Hopefully you get some time on the field, family. Them could even get a profile picture for Brandon. I don't expect any renaissance from Leicester City, family. No renaissance from Leicester City. Leicester City will be hard pressed under Steve Cooper to stay in. Ipswich, I mean, and then regarding Leicester City, Enzo Maresca essentially took one of their better footballers with him to Chelsea. in Dewsbury Bala. And so he was quite productive for them last year while he was there. So I don't really, yeah. Leicester City, good luck. God go with you. Southampton, Ipswich, similar scenario. Big up my side, Southampton. It's good to see them back in the Premier League. But I know, and Southampton fans know who follow this team, like, yo, brother, you can't put on a pot pan fire with some of these people that have a forward. Cannot. I mean, they seem to have moved on from Che Adams, who is a straight bug.
Right.
But now them pick up this brother, Ben Berento, who I think we saw last year. Where did I see him? At Watford or wherever. Adam Lallana, no. I mean, Southampton again is just fight for survival and hope to stay in this league. That essentially, and I think some of these teams are probably saying, we don't really want to spend the Premier League money too enough, just in case we go right back to the Championship and we need to utilize these funds.
So does Ivan Toney fit in for your Southampton?
Yeah, he could be useful, but you can't afford him.
What do you mean you can't afford him?
Southampton should not pay anything over £20 million for any players.
He's not going to be. You're not, yeah, I don't think. You probably have put the extra 5 on it.
No. We're not putting the extra 5. There's a cap for spending for Southampton. Nothing over £20 million for any player. And Ivan Toney and him gambling self, no, thank you, no, good. So yeah, Southampton will be hard pressed. Of course, Southampton got in via the playoff where edging out Leeds, and Leeds did ball them in that football game. So, and of course the other new boy in this year's Premier League is Ipswich. Anything you want to say about Ipswich, family?
Just get ready for going back here.
Any player to watch in Ipswich? Omari Hutchinson.
Get ready for go back here.
Omari Hutchinson, of course, family of Chelsea, family of the Reggae Boys. Kieran McKenna, coach of Ipswich, highly regarded head coach. Actually, some believe that he's a future Manchester United manager. Very much well liked by Alex Ferguson.
But he wasn't ready. He wasn't
but
ready.
He wasn't ready. So if improve himself here, so with Ipswich, who knows? The big boys may come calling. But Kieran McKenna, coach of Ipswich, will be under the. But I'm looking forward to see Omari Hutchinson, not just from a Jamaican perspective, knowing that he may or may not play for Jamaica, but he was excellent in the championship last year, Junior, against championship competition. Now he's against Premier League competition, so we're going to see if Omar Hutchinson can step it up a notch and need to elevate his game to the next level against Premier League competition.
And you know who they play first, right?
Talk to me.
They host Liverpool first.
Perfect start. I mean, it's kickoff. It's kickoff weekend, so ultimately
At the first game Saturday morning, 7:30. All eyes will be on Ipswich.
All right, we're not gonna go through all the other teams, but quickly we want to touch transfer news and transfer saga, and we cannot start any other place than Chelsea Football Club. What's going on with Chelsea, Junior? I have a depth chart up that the Athletic drop, and they illustrate or try to outline the Chelsea depth chart. And Junior, what gives, brother? I mean, in the forward position, Chelsea currently have what, 40 something players on its books. In the forward position, you have Guehi came in as a new transfer. They're trying to get rid of Borja, Deacho Fofana, David Washington, Bursto, Lukaku, Romelu Lukaku, and Nicholas Jackson. In the right wing position, Cole Palmer, Modueki, Gabriel Morena. Attacking midfield, Nkunku, Dewsbury Hall, Chukwuemeka, he's family of Aston Villa, Kellyman. In the left wing position, big transfer, Pedro Neto, Sterling, Bog, Modric, aka Ukraine Bolt. CDM position, Caicedo, Fernandez. Junior, talk to me, brother, because me tired.
Well, before we tell, BM says Omari Hutchinson will show how overhyped he is playing in the EPL. Then when he flops in the EPL, he will go running back to Jamaica. Good luck. Good luck. Chelsea. Wait. Benton, how you spell Richards?
How we spell Richards? Richards.
I don't see no Richards.
Yeah, no, there's no Dejan Richards here.
Wow.
Junior, what position does Dejan Richards play?
Not on that field.
Okay, all right. Don't you see the depth in the team?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right, cool.
Plus
Dejan Richards is he recently undergo a procedure, right? So he will have to. He's on the mend. Good luck, yo. Speedy recovery to your recovery.
Plus they signed the Brazilian wonder kid that everybody says the next Ronaldinho.
Well, Estavio
William. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Estavio, right?
Yeah.
So they signed Estavio, but Estavio is not even on the depth chart because I think he's loaned out, right?
Right.
And Junior, before you even delved on this whole depth chart scenario regarding Chelsea, the most recent thing is this Conor Gallagher saga. Conor Gallagher on the verge of a transfer to Atletico Madrid. In Atletico, contract wasn't completely signed. Samu Omorandon in Chelsea, the exchange, to complete his medical, the Samu side apparently fell through because of, some said, failed medical. There were reports of failed medical. Samu was at the Olympics. Samu picked up an injury. Conor Gallagher now is out on a limb. Chelsea told him to return to Chelsea. He's back at Chelsea. Joao Felix is in the picture. There's discussion going on between both clubs, Atletico Madrid and Chelsea, about potentially maybe moving Joao Felix for Connor and or vice versa, or figured out. But Junior, what in the world is going on with this transfer?
I mean, the player hurt, so I think that transfer is fine. It is what is going on with Chelsea's transfer plan, because now Gallagher is back in to limbo basically, because Chelsea don't want you, and Chelsea have a million replacements. So there's no this. And this remind me of my boy that left Chelsea that wanted to go to PSG a couple years ago.
Ziyech?
Ziyech, yeah.
Yeah, Ziyech, yeah. Hakim Ziyech, yeah.
It is Hakim Ziyech all over again. So Gallagher now should be fairly cheap. So all of those teams that, like a Liverpool, no.
No, Liverpool, no.
But I'm just thinking of teams that want a midfielder.
I think there was an expression from an interest from Tottenham at one time, based on some reports last year, that Tottenham may have been interested in him.
Yeah, but then they sign Onana, so that interest should be gone.
No,
No.
Aston Villa signed Onana.
Oh, after. Sorry. I thought Tottenham
Yeah,
did. No,
Aston Villa
Aston
signed.
Villa. Sorry. So yeah, so Tottenham. Yeah, Tottenham. I don't know.
Because Højbjerg, whatever, is gone.
Right.
I think Giovanni Lo Celso is also gone. From Spurs. So maybe but does Conor Gallagher want to play for another team permanently in the EPL?
Another London team at that too.
I really sympathize with Conor Gallagher here, a player who. This is why when you hear, it doesn't matter if it's Conor Gallagher or any player for that matter. When you hear players really executing their right to try to maximize their earnings, because in one fell swoop, a transfer can just fall through, because he did what he's supposed to do, but because there's another player who's involved in the same transfer, meant that no, you're at the mercy of that other player. By the way, what people are watching watching streaming up. Yo, we're back to smash the like button. Smash the like button. May I beg you people, subscribe to the channel. Tell a friend about the channel. EPL preview currently. BallChat football show. I am Benton. He's Junior. So EPL football kicking off tomorrow. So talking about the Conor Gallagher situation and what will happen to Conor Gallagher right now. I mean, at the end of the day, Junior, there are 2 more weeks left in the transfer window. If he doesn't move, him just have to put on him socks and go play some ball.
And I'm sorry, he makes £50,000 per week. Ooh. All right. Just making £50,000 a week, stay fit, and by January you can go to another team. He'll be all right.
Yeah, but where am I gonna play? You know, see the depth chart.
Yeah, but he'll be all right. Just stay fit. He'll be in January. He can go to another team. His salary is not that expensive. 50,000 a week. That is salary for a Crystal Palace. That Crystal Palace can take on. Southampton can take on that salary.
£50,000 per week. No. We're not. Again, Southampton, we can't make these sort of financial commitments to player who them man don't really want the Southampton. Them you don't want to use my team and then We need if we're gonna commit £50,000, we commit £50,000 a week to man like Alcaraz, who has put some things in the trenches for Southampton.
Well, I might be wrong though. He signed, so it's making 2.6 million per year. Yeah, it's about. Yeah. You can't sign him, man. Gallagher will find a landing space.
But in terms of Chelsea, what next? What next for this for the squad, Junior? I mean, this team. I guess the first and foremost hopes that everybody stay healthy, and then you have options.
Chelsea cannot complain about health. They will never have a health crisis. They will never have an injury crisis. No. They are not allowed to talk about fitness department. They're not allowed to talk about anything like that. They're not allowed to complain about schedule or anything like that. No.
So notable things to watch as we enter the Premier League season is that some players on this Chelsea squad will have to move.
Yes.
Kepa will probably move more than likely. Lukaku will probably move more than likely. The problem that is holding up a Lukaku deal, I know there's an interest from Antonio Conte and Napoli, is that Napoli would rather do a loan. Whereas there's Victor Osimhen at Napoli, where's that deal where Victor is not interested in any loan to any team. Victor just wants a move. And Victor also commands a high transfer. Chelsea does not. I don't know if Chelsea have the money for sign a Victor. And I don't see Victor signing these lengthy contracts that Chelsea is doing to kind of offset or spread out the cost, right?
Right.
And you don't want to sign a Victor to such lengthy contract either.
But you see, that's a low hanging. You went for low hanging fruit, right? That's low hanging fruit. Let's address some of the elephants in the room, in that locker room. Modric, we could say Modric was a bug last year, right? But him fast like grease lightning.
Yes.
Sterling fast though.
Yes.
So right off the bat, you have a squad competition right there, and in comes Pedro Neto. When will we start seeing fights amongst these players? We saw the unfortunate scene last year when Nicholas Jackson wanted what was a penalty or
Yeah,
was
for
it
the
was a
penalty.
penalty?
But I blame that on the coach, though. I think the coach, Mauricio
Benton, this-
Pochettino last year for a while left it up to the players them to decide who will take penalty.
You know why? Because it's too much of them. You don't want them turn against you.
No,
They will
you
jump
know,
you.
in this situation, you have a shootout at practice and you rank your best penalty taker or any team, your best, your second best, and here is the hierarchy of the situation. Do not leave it up to kids to make a decision.
But normally, Benton, you can do a shootout in an hour to figure out your best penalty taker, right?
Yes.
With this Chelsea team, it's going to take you about a week to complete that shootout.
But you know what? And ideally, you don't have to do the entire squad. You just said, for my some people now gonna get game. Like Lukaku now gonna get game. In fact, Lukaku doesn't train with the main team, so Lukaku in the squad list is just kind of just accounting for him, but he's technically kind of out on an island by himself, right?
Right. That's what I said. That's low hanging fruit.
Yeah. So you want to give your strikers penalty by and large to kind of boost their confidence mainly, right? But you also want to give penalties to the best penalty taker.
Right.
And if a man and you know it's a difficult thing, but also if a man excel and have 2 or 3 goals in a game and you say, yo, the brother on the verge of scoring a hat trick, give him a penalty because you want to foster that team thing. And it's a very difficult responsibility for a young manager, Enzo Maresca. But again, Pep Guardiola was a young manager and I know we're comparing. You know what? Let me forget the Pep thing. Forget Pep. I didn't say Pep. Frank Rijkaard was a young manager when he went to Chelsea. They all have to start somewhere. But most importantly, for Enzo Maresca, he has coached and he has successful experience with Leicester City. And he is trying to play a certain type of football.
Right.
The Pedro Neto transfer, Pedro Neto is a baller, but Pedro Neto is also injury prone. Cole Palmer is a baller. All right. Drewsbury Hall is a baller.
Reece James already injured.
Yes. I think Chelsea's biggest problem and one of the big things that Chelsea has to figure out defensively, how to stop people from scoring. And this should not be a problem with so many defenders and some high value CDMs that they I think Enzo Fernandez and Moises Caicedo must improve their ball game this year. Junior, we saw in the preseason where Moises Caicedo, with a little bit of pressure from Man City, turned the ball over. And that is, you always say, the man them have tape on you. If the world knows that you are vulnerable to pressure, the world going to pressure you until you can prove the world wrong.
Right.
And so Moises Caicedo has been making the rounds in terms of doing interviews. He said last year was not a good year. Or he ended, to be fair to him, he ended the year well. But that's also when Enzo Fernandez was off the field. because
Right.
Enzo was injured at the end. And so he was just given the responsibility of just working with Conor Gallagher close to him and just breaking up players, right? So now, Moises Caicedo just have to play some ball this year. And I think they're going to play a double pivot with Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez. They play Man City this weekend, and I wouldn't be surprised if them get all 6. No, I wouldn't be surprised. No,
Yeah.
because it probably going to get worse before it get better at Chelsea.
Yo, is it 6?
And to be fair, I mean,
You know they're hosting City, right?
yeah, but that's the thing, Junior, is that what we saw in the and I know it's just preseason, right?
Right.
We saw because one of the things that Enzo Maresca said that we saw them against Wrexham, we saw them against City, we saw them against Wales, and he kept on saying that one of the big things that he's trying to resolve with Chelsea is what to do when we lose the ball. When we have the ball, they are getting it, but once the ball goes away, you have to quickly recover the ball. No, as we always say, pressing is a collective thing. If one or two men are pressed, and the rest of them are ease off, then But enough Chelsea. I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens to them. But looking forward to see what happens to them. I think they made the right decision in regarding to manager and what they're trying to do. They're trying to go young and develop talent, and he's a guy who is noted to develop young talented players. Whereas Pochettino is a more experienced players to try aspire for win trophy. All right. Well, it's the Premier League vibes just I get to me. Boy, I'm so excited for discuss Premier League football again. So you don't know how the thing's set. It's all about Premier League football. Any other team that you want to touch before we get into our formal predictions and
How big of a loss is Julian Alvarez? That is something we need to discuss because Kevin De Bruyne can't play the whole season. And Viking looks lost at sea without Kevin De Bruyne. So where does he pivot? And Oscar Bob fractured his leg.
Yeah, Oscar Bob fractured his
Yeah, so I don't know how long he's going to be out for.
Yeah.
And then my boy down the left wing.
Who?
The left winger.
What?
Black you, short and fast.
Doku?
Doku.
Yeah.
Doku is a poor man's Vinicius Jr.
Yeah.
And you know how I feel about Vinicius Jr. already.
Yeah.
So that make it even worse with Doku.
Yeah.
How far is City going to fall off? And is this the year for Arsenal? Very well could be.
Yeah, well, if it's not this year, then when? Why not, if not now, when for Arsenal?
It very well could be. Right? Arsenal, if you notice, Arsenal, this off-season, Arsenal seems to just... We already know Arsenal have the best defense in the Premier League. Best squad of defenders. You're not scoring on them that easily. But Arsenal just give me a vibe like they have gotten better with age.
We said this last year, Junior.
No, I last year I said that they were going to win the Premier League, and
are you picking them again this year?
I
guess at some point they must get with the.
I might, because the thing is this. I think who gets Ivan Toney? I think Ivan Toney can tip the balance for the Premier League, because why wouldn't Pep take a flyer on Ivan Toney in his last year?
You don't want Ivan Toney. No.
Cheap. He's going to be cheap. He's going to be cheap.
No, it doesn't matter. You don't want Ivan Toney.
Arsenal needs Ivan Toney.
No,
if
Arsenal
Arsenal,
don't want Ivan Toney either.
Gabriel Jesus can't last the season. If
All right,
Ivan
fair
Toney,
enough.
if Ivan Toney signs for Arsenal, Arsenal is odds-on favorite to win Premier League.
As I'm favorite, but doesn't mean they're gonna win. The problem is that Ivan Toney is a good baller. All right.
Right.
But will Ivan Toney accept the role that sometimes I've got to sit on the bench? At Arsenal.
At Arsenal, he wouldn't have to accept that role. I think Ivan Toney signs for Arsenal. He is starting over Gabriel Jesus.
Starting out, but remember, Kai Havertz is preferred to go down the middle,
No. Kai Havertz will now play his preferred 8 role.
Kai Havertz is still not going. Listen, he's gonna send Martinelli to the left.
Havertz will play in the middle.
Havertz go down the middle. Saka on the right.
Yeah.
Odegaard in at the 10.
Tony as a striker.
The Rice. And don't he now want to play a double?
He wouldn't have to play a double if he get.
But this is why. But you are compromised now because you're giving up that defensive protection.
No, but you already have the best centre backs in the league.
Yeah, no, you don't have the best centre back. You have the best defense.
They have the best centre back pairing in the league.
You have the best defense because of the protection the CDM I give you centre back.
True.
So you can't tell me say you are look on Gabriel and say you have the best centre back.
Yes, the best centre back pairing.
Best centre back pairing.
I wholeheartedly believe.
No,
that.
Saliba is probably the best centre back in the Premier League.
Best centre back in the league, and Gabriel.
But Gabriel is a madman.
No, but he complements him well.
Yeah, he complements. Why did Arsenal decide to sign Ricardo Calafrio?
As for squad depth.
Yeah, because they suspect that when issues happen, Ricardo will come in and give them. And Ricardo is not a cheap transfer just to back up, Because remember, Zinchenko was vulnerable in the left back position.
And they still have Ben White, who I think is playing right back.
Yeah, Ben White will play right back, yes.
You don't need a double pivot.
Yeah, but I'm saying to you, they achieved the defensive successes last year because an emphasis of playing a double pivot.
True. But that also cost Arteta the championship.
Did it?
Yes. Because there were games last year. I'm trying to remember the games when they came down the stretch. And they were drawing games that they should have won. And I remember Sean was always cussing Arteta and saying Arteta scared coaching and yada, yada, yada. And I think with a year's growth for Arteta and also a year's growth for Martinelli, Odegaard and company, I think they are ready. I think they are primed. I think they are ready to open up themselves and play more offensively. Even though they had the ball a lot last year, that was a part of their defense. They kept the ball away from teams. They weren't threatening teams as much as they should with the amount of possession that they had. But with the possession that they had, their defenders can play more relaxed. And they didn't need to play. They didn't play a crazy high line like Aston Villa, but they compressed the field and just killed the game. They were like a boa constrictor. So I think they are primed to take the next step.
Yeah, Thomas Partey still did it in our midfield. Jorginho still did it another year. I expect Fabio Vieira to take another step forward. In fact, I expect Fabio Vieira to get more minutes this year. I don't see Ivan Toney fitting. I don't see Nketiah remaining at this team at the close of this window. I think Nketiah.
I forgot about Nketiah.
Yeah, Nketiah.
Forgot about Nketiah. I forgot.
Who knows? Let's see what happened with Arsenal. But ultimately, I mean, if not this year, then no. But just to get back to your question regarding Man City, and you asked a question about the loss of Julian Alvarez. In fact, In fact, on the Premier League page, they still have Julian Alvarez up there. Of course, they've achieved so much with this team. Yo, imagine you are Scott Carson at Man City. Look on Scott Carson as the third string goalkeeper. The man look at Scott Carson. The man like him and miss one front tooth. Yo, the man miss a front tooth, brother. But Scott Carson is like Regin. We just sitting here and win championships. We don't care.
Right. He's just being quota.
Yeah, we just go and drink some beer and just go on easy. The Julian Alvarez situation, though, is a genuine concern for Man City, I think, because the thing is this: Julian Alvarez gives them a different look, gives opponents a different look. You know, the Norwegian striker will have bad days. We have seen games where the Norwegian striker missed sitters, and Julian Alvarez has come on and delivered. And I understand Julian Alvarez wants to play football. I am very excited about Savinho. I am a Savinho fan. Of course, Man City added Savinho from Girona. But Pep is Pep. I mean, Pep won the Premier League with a false nine 1 year with what? Who was he? Was it Phil Foden scoring goals and Ika Gundogan scoring goals? So big players need to step up this year. Matheus Nunes needs to take another step forward in his Man City's career. If he doesn't step up this year, it's a big concern for Man City, because I cannot expect a Kevin and a Bernardo Silva to carry the heavy lift that they did last year.
I think Doku needs to step up a big time.
Yes. Doku needs to step up. Jack Grealish needs to step up big.
I think he's lost at sea. I think Jack Grealish is, I don't want to say done, but Pep just seen him out for Pep's last year.
Is there a possibility that Jack Grealish could move from Man City before the season, the transfer window close? And by the way, reports are out that Calvin Phillips is on loan at Ipswich, right?
Ipswich, yeah.
Yes.
Calvin, I think.
I need to step away for 1 second, but go ahead, fam.
Yeah, but you asked about
Jack Grealish.
Jack Grealish. For me, as a step away, I don't think Jack Grealish would request a transfer. First of all, I don't think a team would try to transfer, would inquire about Jack Grealish. Football has changed at the wings. In the Premier League, you won't see a lot of teams with a possession winger. Because that's what Jack Grealish is to me. He's just a possession winger. I personally don't think Jack Grealish will be transferred out. You have to have a buyer. Unless it's going to be Saudi, which, you know what I think about it? I don't think the Saudi league, I don't think they have any British players, do they? They might have one or two British, but not no big name British players. When I think about it, I know they hired Gerrard at one point to be the coach, but but I don't think. And currently, put in the chat. If you ever heard of a British player being signed by the Saudi league as a big name signing, because if for Jack Grealish to leave Man City, it will have to be a big name. It will have to be a big signing. I cannot see Jack Grealish going back to a team lesser than where Villa is right now, the team that he left when he was the captain. He strikes me too much like he's filled with pride, and I think that will really hurt his pride if he was to leave Man City and end up like a Calvin Phillips. I think that is the road that he will go down if he leaves Man City. So I can't see it. I don't think Pep wants that headache, because Jack Grealish is an English boy, and we know the fans love him there. We know the British fans love him. And another thing to take into consideration too is what is going on in the political climate in England. You don't really want to stir up the fans. So I don't think I think Jack Grealish is safe. He might have to free up the number 10 though. You have to free up the number 10 if you are Jack Grealish. But I think his pride coupled with the political climate in England, I think Jack Grealish is safe. I think so. That's where I leave it. Jack Grealish is safe.
All right. You think Jack Grealish will remain
Yeah.
at Man City? So, yeah, you know, watch the space. Again, 2 more weeks left in the transfer window. A lot can happen. You know, I feel very, very sad for Oscar Bob. I really like what Oscar Bob has shown in the preseason. Of course, Man City won the Community Shield last weekend. Manchester United missed quite a few sitters last weekend. So, with that being said, Man City won the game on penalty. Edison got some interest, or, you know, Saudi money tickled his eyes for a minute, but he decided to stay. Swan song.
One more year.
One more year. Swan song for Pep. I mean, Pep did say he's closer to leaving and staying. This is the 8th year. Junior, an elephant in the room is the 115 charges against Man City. The Premier League announced that the case will begin sometime next month. Now, while this case is going on, Manchester City will be competing for a Premier League title. Do you expect any of that case noise will then affect or spill over on the squad?
No. I don't think the squad care. Okay. But you know, worst case scenario, they could be relegated. They could get the death sentence and be relegated. It's worst case scenario. If that was to happen, we will see. I don't think that will happen. I think though that the governing bodies are going to get their money's worth out of those 115 charges. They are going to wrap them up in litigations, and they're going to test the strength of that oil money that is running them. I think that's the extent of it. I don't think there will be damage. I don't think there will be any punishment, football punishment coming out of it, because you don't want to punish the fans. You have to find a way how to punish the club without punishing the fans, which is your lifeblood of the sport. So I don't think they're going to affect them on the field. But when it's all said and done, I think Pep leaving was accelerated by these charges coming. And I think they might become toxic, where they won't be able to attract the next Pep Guardiola, and they might come back down to earth. And that might be how the litigation plays itself out. That's what I'm expecting. And
Man City, Man City probably already have the next Pep Guardiola already lined up. They a part of the City group. I mean, the City group, as in the City football group, does own our own percentage in different teams. Girona is one of them. Michel, the head coach, or Michel, the head coach at City at Girona, is quite favourite. Junior, there's a report from Fabrizio Romano said Man City decided to enter the market after the Oscar Bob injury, and subsequently, of
Anthony?
Course,
Anthony?
And of course, Julian Alvarez being moved on. He says that Man City to sign one more talent as they close in on Divin Mumbama deal. Olympic Lyon and Famalecho were in talks, but City hijacked the move as they see Mumbana as homegrown player who could develop with the right pathway. Devin Mumbana is, let's see, Momana will be in Manchester this season, then potentially loan. But I mean, let's see if Man City goes in for any other players to offset our help. Of course, they need to offset the homegrown situation. Mbana is at West Ham set up. Before we go to our predictions, no, that's that part of the show where we come to, of course, as you mentioned earlier, Liverpool have not made a transfer. The primary target was Zubamendi. Let's see what happened. Liverpool did have quite a few outs, most notably Fabio Carvalho left. He's undisclosed to Brentford, so we'll see him at Brentford. Newcastle, Junior, anything you want to say about your brethren at Newcastle?
There another one thing that's very peculiar. I think Eddie Howe is walking on thin ice. That's why they didn't make any splashes in the transfer market when we know they have the money and we know that other teams are around them got better. So that's another team to that might fall off a little bit.
And there are reports that Charlotte FC is looking to bring in one Mr. Miguel Almiron. So I think his time at Tyneside or Teenside is as a Toon Army is coming to an end, Junior.
Yeah.
Alexander Isak, big baller, big player, huge goal scorer. Junior, does Newcastle hold on to him during this transfer window?
No. I mean, this transfer window, yes.
Okay.
Yes, because I think these teams would have to adjust to the new market.
Yeah.
So while they're spending less for players, they're going to be asking for more than teams are willing are allowed to spend. So everybody have to get used to the value system and the remake of the value system. So Isaac will be there. I think he's not moving unless they can move him and flip it for Tony. I just think Tony.
You must be Ivan Tony agent.
No, I'm not. I'm totally against him I remember I was the one that laughed at you and come on when they said that he's $100 million.
Yeah, when they said that.
No way, no how, no hell. Right? No way, no how, no hell.
Yeah.
Or all the big teams will get him. No way, no how, no hell. I kept saying that. But now that he is he has one more year left on his contract. So that means that he can be had for fairly cheap because Brentford have to bend to any team right now because come January, if he's not transferred, he's gone for free.
Yeah.
Right? And every team can be lining up now because the money we will spend on bringing him in, that's the money we spend on PR for him. So look out. I think Ivan Toney is one of those names that will be heavily talked about in the next 2 weeks.
Bruno Guimaraes. We talk about Man City. Lucas Paqueta.
Yeah, what happened to his litigation?
All right, before we get to Lucas Paqueta, Man City was on the verge of signing Lucas Paqueta.
Yeah.
Last year, and based on the reports, and that fell through because of the gambling allegations, or the betting allegations, and he's on an investigation. Bruno Guimaraes is someone, according to British media, that Man City is interested in. They like him. Junior, Man City, Fab said they will go into the market. Does Bruno Guimaraes gets a visit from Man City? Or is that dependent on a Kevin moving on?
No, because the space is there now for him.
Okay.
And
if you sign Bruno, what are you saying about Matheus then? Matheus Nunes.
You have options. because Kevin De Bruyne are gone next year. Bernardo Silva.
Yeah, Bernardo Silva is there. Foden is
Next
there.
year.
Grealish.
Next year.
Kovacic
Grealish.
is there.
Kovacic all. Grealish is a
Rodri.
Rodri is a mainstay. We'll see. There's space there for him, but I think players are going to be kind of hesitant about going to Man City because of the charges that are pending, and we don't know who's coaching them after this year. It's not like you're going to say, I'm going to be tutored by the greatest current club.
And Junior internet froze. Junior is dropped their family. Well, yo, technical difficulties on our first night back, as we'll get Junior back on with us. But Bruno Guimaraes to Man City is let's see. There were reports that Bruno was of interest to Man City, as Junior is back on right now. Yeah, you were finishing your thought, family.
Yeah, I don't know what City will look like after Pep.
Okay.
So players, that's something that players have to keep in mind. So that could affect your transfer policy.
Yeah.
I believe we do a transfer upon the internet service.
But we'll get to our prediction before boy, no football news. It's a long time when I do a show, so football season again, club football season again, family. You mentioned Lucas Paqueta, family, and the Lucas Paqueta situation. Of course, Lucas Paqueta is on an investigation for match fixing or betting. What was this called? Spot betting or whatever?
Yeah, called spot betting, yeah.
Yeah. Junior, boy, this is a tricky one, right? I mean, it's
you see the fact that it's taking this long to litigate. Let me feel like there's nothing there, or let me feel like there's enough ambiguity there that Paqueta can walk free.
okay.
If you have the evidence, if it's open and shut, you adjudicated during the off season. He knows where he stands. He's suspended for a year or whatever it's going to be. Them loan him out to Palmeiras or wherever, and we move on, right? The mere fact that they haven't passed on any judgment lets me feel like there's enough ambiguity there, enough reasonable doubt that he's going to walk free. I think they're just bringing it out, holding it out because they know there's something there, but it's what they can prove. Okay. And they're doing this long enough just to discourage. And they use it as an example, holding it over him head and sending a message to the league that don't do this.
And so just to remind listeners that the charges related to a yellow card Paqueta picked up against Leicester City November 12, 2022, as well as matches in 2023 against Aston Villa on March 12, Leeds on May 21st, and Bournemouth on the opening day on August 12th. Yo, we need to watch Paqueta this weekend if he's playing now. No yellow card. The FA said that it's alleged that Paqueta directly sought to influence the progress, conduct, or any other aspect or occurrence in these matches by intentionally seeking to receive a card from the ref for the improper purpose. Now, etc. Improper purpose of affecting the betting market in order for more persons to profit from betting. And it is understood about 60 people placed bets on Paqueta to receive a yellow card in one or all of the aforementioned matches, with the stakes ranging from £7 to £400.
And that's ambiguity. Is he, because if he's really guilty of this, this shows how addicted he is to gambling, or how addicted he is to probably helping people. Because if somebody go and place a bet that can get £400, Paqueta can just write them a check or just pull it out of them wallet and say £400 here, go on with that. I better yet, let's roll it up. I give 500. Right? So that's the ambiguity I'm talking about. You have to prove that. And you're going to have to prove that he has some form of addiction, or he has some form of influence in his camp that for a millionaire, he's taking $400 chances at his $1 million contract. That just no. You can't. That's hard to sell.
Yeah, it's hard to envision, but it's let Paqueta says we've been linking up really well since Julian Lopetegui took charge. He spoke of the connection with Jared Bowen. Just by looking at each other, we managed to understand one another. I'm very happy he's been able to score and I can help assist. The lads have been speaking a lot about how Lopetegui likes to do things. I'm here to learn. I want to evolve as a player. And so the important thing is that, West Ham seems to be proceeding, as business as usual, Junior, without any sort of,
they turned down the loan offer.
Yeah, they did turn down the loan. Yeah.
So that means that they are fairly confident that he's going to come out okay.
Yeah. But big year for Lucas Paqueta. I mean, I thought he was very disappointed in the Copa America held here, but expected a bit more from him. But granted, we watch the space, see what happened to the regarding the season. Big year for him. Junior, before we predict Spurs, we spoke at the top about the transfer for Dominic Solanke. Not a big year for one Mr. What's his name again? I can't even remember the manager name. Remind me of the Spurs manager again.
How you pronounce that name there?
The Australian.
Yeah. Him.
What?
Him. Ange, let's call him
Yeah,
Ange.
Dan, Pasta Gagle.
Postecoglou.
Yes. Junior, we know Ange, football, highline, risk reward. Do we see another year of the evolution of this player? And Emerson Royal has left, but do you want to play that highline football with a Dominic Solanke?
No, but the fly in the ointment or the issue will always and forever be Daniel Levy and how coaches. Because I remember, Andrew's the one last year when he got frustrated publicly came out and said he doesn't know if it's just the nature of the club or what. He basically echoed what Conte said and what Jose said about Tottenham, right?
Yeah.
And so you're asking about X's and O's. Is Ange going to be the coach come January?
Where else is he going to go?
Question. That's a bigger question to me because he will get frustrated. And all the teams around him got better. All the teams around him got better. So let's see. But
and again we'll keep an eye on Giovanni Lo Celso. By the way, is Tanju Ndombele still a Tottenham player?
No, I thought didn't they was it a loan they sent him out for or he just left?
Yeah,
I think he left.
Okay, so he's at Nice.
Yeah, he got transferred out.
Oh, he got transferred in 20. He just got transferred recently because prior to that, it was a loan.
Yeah, well, he was on loan first, yes.
Yeah, he was on loan to Galatasaray. Okay, so that's a huge salary off the book. Yeah, he signed a 2-year contract with Nice in. All right, family. Let's get to the EPL prediction. Before we get to it, any other team, anything you want to say about anybody else?
Let's kick it off. Let's go.
Before we even kick it off, Aston Villa.
Oh, well, yeah.
Aston. We cannot ignore Aston Villa. Emmanuel Bondia comes back from injury. Let's see how he goes about it. Kamara also should return from injury. Big year for Leon Bailey. They've lost man called Douglas Luiz.
And they've also lost the winger. That played with Bailey at Leverkusen. The youth that went to Saudi.
Oh yeah, Moussa Diaby.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've lost Moussa Diaby. They've brought in Amadou Onana, and they've also brought in Ross Barkley.
Yeah, so they haven't. Said Jeremy says Leon Bailey won't have the same season. I agree because he's going to play more games, and it's not only Leon Bailey, the whole of Aston Villa not going to have the same season this year. The dog nyam them supper when them play the games a Wednesday game or a Tuesday game and turn around and play Saturday morning. Dog them supper. So I think they didn't spend wisely. Onana is a good signing, but Ross Barkley is just there to take up space. And you move on from Diaby, who he and Bailey together gave you consistency on the wing for a whole year where you didn't have to worry about the right wing. And now you're putting all that on Bailey's shoulder. We'll see.
But let's see. Did Leandro Dendonka? So they did move Dendonka. Yeah, he did join Napoli. Okay, so the EPL people have updated them page. He's at Napoli on loan. But he's still listed on the Aston Villa page, so on the Aston Villa EPL website. So he's on loan.
It's another big year for the Yuri Tillemans too. Huge.
Not a huge year for Yuri Tillemans. Diego Carlos is also. I think Diego Carlos is also gone. Tyrone Mings will return from the injury, Junior. How many of these can he recover from?
Yeah, and remember they play the high line. Is if there's a team that's ripe for falling, is Aston Villa.
It's Aston Villa. Diego Carlos went to Fulham. But they have young players. Jacob Ramsey, looking forward to see another year of Jacob Ramsey growth. Looking forward to see Jacob. And they picked up Ian Matson from Chelsea, so that's a pretty good signing.
Maybe they should look at Conor Gallagher.
Maybe should sign who?
Gallagher.
But they have already invested in their midfield. So they have Bartley, Amadou Onana, Kamara, Ramsey, John McGinn, Yuri Tillemans, Buena, Emiliano Bondia comes back. And they have the number one goalkeeper in the world of football. So, I mean, Aston Villa, I do expect them to fall off, but Unai Emery is a good manager. And, I'm a little bit surprised that they're not making more investments with the Champions League money. But also, I think you can't just spend off what you get just because you get it, right?
Or maybe they're waiting for teams to become desperate towards the end of the transfer window so they can get bargains.
Yeah. It's a lot. It's a big ask to have Ollie Watkins did what he did last year, right? Ollie Watkins is a baller. I rate Ollie Watkins a lot. He should get more attention. Um,
Oh, the winger forward.
the winger forward. By the way, Chai Dini, I think, is now taking over some more punditry role on BBC. So, John Duran needs to take another year forward to kind of relieve some of the pressure off Ali Watkins. Young player, good little Colombian player. So, by the way, is Coutinho still on Aston Villa books?
No.
Wait.
And Coutinho go to
Yeah,
Saudi.
but is it a permanent deal or is it a transfer?
No, I think it's a transfer. I'm pretty sure Coutinho is off the books.
It's a loan deal.
Wow.
Filippo Coutinho is on loan at Vasco da Gama.
Oh yeah. I thought
Some
it was
people,
Saudi.
Filippo Coutinho is still on Aston Villa books. Jaja. Oh, child. Imagine that, Junior. And I don't know the dynamics or the numbers regarding Filippo Coutinho's loan, but Jaja. All right, I could get to the thing, the reason why we're here. EPL prediction time. EPL kicks off tomorrow. Opening day fixtures. But before we get to the opening day fixtures, opening weekend fixtures, we have a pick who we have finishing this thing and top and who I get relegated, family.
All right, so about the relegation first. I'm picking Brentford, Ipswich. Brentford with Ipswich. I think that third team is going to be a tricky one. Is this the year Everton gets relegated? No, it can't be Crystal Palace. Is this the year that Everton finally get relegated? Will Sean Dyche survive again? I think so. So Ipswich, Bournemouth.
You going with Bournemouth? Nah, Junior, you can't go with Bournemouth. You're mad, man.
Ipswich, Bournemouth, and Brentford.
You know Bournemouth last year finished in the upper part of the table.
We will see how they start against Nottingham Forest this weekend.
And Bournemouth have one of the best probably one of the best managers in the EPL.
We will see.
In Ariola.
We will see. But I'm just picking. I don't have a reason why I'm just picking Bournemouth. Or maybe Crystal Palace.
No, Crystal Palace. No. All right, my relegation teams are Leicester City and Steve Cooper will get relegated. Leicester City just don't have the horses. Nottingham Forest and Nuno Espirito. Nuno and Nottingham Forest will get relegated. Big transfer. So Leicester City, Nottingham Forest, and the third team is... Well, I hate to do it. Junior. I hate to do it. I don't think Ipswich is going to get relegated. I think Ipswich is a decent team. They have a good little manager and very promising. I think that third team is Southampton.
Wow.
Southampton.
Yeah, that's not the win.
Yeah. I mean, I would love to see Southampton remain in the EPL, but I think it's a tough ask to have this Southampton team remain in the EPL. I mean, this when you look at this team, Carl Peters, Peters Watkins or whatever. No. So Southampton, Leicester City, and Forest are the relegated three for me. All right, winners, top four, family. Starting from the fourth. Number 4.
My heart says Manchester United. My heart says Manchester United.
How about you just give me your picks and I tell you what your heart say?
My heart says Manchester United. Woo! Yeah. My heart says Man U finishing fourth.
So you got Manchester United finishing fourth.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you're waiting for me to do my fourth?
Yeah, who's your fourth?
All right. Yo, people will have me write something down real quickly.
All right, why are you doing that? So we give my top 4. So Man U fourth. I have Liverpool third. I have Man City second, and Arsenal winning the league this year. I think this is the year Arsenal win the league.
All right. Wow. Okay. Fourth, Spurs. Spurs will finish fourth. Wow. The Spurs finishing fourth thing kind of mess up the answers. Liverpool. Liverpool finishing third. Arsenal second. Man City winning. Now, Arsenal fans should be able to thank me when they win the league. Because by me picking Man City means that Arsenal will probably win. I think Spurs, another year of Postecoglou and the fact that they picked up Solanke should rectify some of the issues that we saw with them last year.
No.
Manchester United, I am not certain about. I'm not certain about Ten Hag. You already have the injury woes started. Luke Shaw, Hadjilan, Euro. It's kind of rinse repeat over at Manchester United. And
That's I'm about to say. Our predictions are subject to change up until the transfer market, the end of transfer market, because Manuel Ugarte is supposed to be a Manchester United player within the next 2 weeks. That changes the dynamic of the league.
So I have Man City 1, Arsenal 2, Liverpool 3, and Spurs in 4th.
Right.
And Spurs in 4th. And my relegated teams are Southampton, Nottingham Forest, and Steve Cooper and Leicester City. Those are my relegated teams. I would pick Chelsea, but they're not going that far. Surprise team of the year for you in terms of which team you think going to surprise some people in the EPL?
A hunch says Everton, but I kind of like Sean Dyche. I don't know how much of a surprise it would be. I think Chelsea going to surprise.
Okay. I think
Chelsea
West Ham
might
going to
even-
surprise some people. They have a good manager.
West Ham to start, yeah. West Ham,
West Ham is
yeah.
going to surprise. Well, maybe it's not a surprise. Julian Lopetegui. Looking for another year, Mohamed Kudus in this football team. And a lot hinges on what happened with Lucas Paqueta.
Yes.
Because if Lucas Paqueta gets any sort of lengthy suspension, then West Ham will have to subsequently either go in the market in January, and depending on when the suspension, if he does get suspended, when it's handed down, if it's in a September, you have to go on and run with who you have until then, till January. That is a tough ask for West Ham. But I think the Pieces is a very experienced team, and I think they have improved in the manager space with Lopetegui taking over from David Moyes. So I expect West Ham to make it into a Europa League spot. They won the Conference League a few years ago. They should make it into a Europa League spot at the end of the season. But by and large, I think all eyes in this year's EPL, when it comes to the top half of the table, is what does Arsenal have in store for Man City? That's essentially the ultimate question, right?
Yes. And can Man City survive?
And can Man City survive? Fixture list before we go where we are. I touch some other league before we take ourselves. This weekend, kickoff weekend in the EPL. Man United versus Fulham. Who you got? Junior?
Come on, man. Manchester.
Your team, your manager, your coach, your baller.
Manu.
Onana said there will be a lot in store for you guys this year.
That more to come on that comment, but I don't think this weekend will be affecting Manu.
The bookmakers do have Manchester United and Jadon Sancho. What's the situation with the Jadon Sancho scenario over at Manchester United?
He and Ugarte might be changing shirts.
He has what?
He and Ugarte might change shirts. PSG still want him. Reported.
Okay, well, until that happens, now what do we expect to see Jadon Sancho on the park until the transfer goes through?
Ten Hag flirts with the false nine, and he flirted with Jadon Sancho playing the false nine. That's the only way he gets on the field right now. He's not playing over Ahmad. He's not playing over Garnacho. He's not playing over Rashford. And Ten Hag might prefer Anthony over him. So the only way we get on the field is playing in the false nine. So no.
3 p.m. kickoff tomorrow, Old Trafford, Fulham versus Man United. Fulham lost their big defender, Tosin Abareo, to big up not Dexter, but Bobby Reid and Fulham. Junior Marcus Silva, Fulham. Fulham is Fulham.
Tricky game, though. It's going to be a tricky game.
Smith Rowe may make his debut for Fulham.
It's going to be a tricky game because Marco Silva knows how to deploy a team. So it's going to be a tricky game. Plus, Manu more likely having 2 new signees in the back four. It's going to be a tricky game.
You know, this youth, Rodrigo Muniz, lively little player. He will cause some headache. It's opening weekend. Football vibes up. Looking forward to see Emil Smith Rowe get quality minutes and see if Arsenal made a mistake with this baller. A few years ago, he was supposed to be the big man at the Emirates, but Arsenal decided to move on. Looking forward to see him, and Ryan Sessegnon also. So 3 p.m. kickoff. So that's tomorrow's game. Games for this weekend on Sunday. So of course I have Manchester United winning that game. I thought Manchester United did well against Man City. I am very much concerned about the goal scoring aspect of the game, because it doesn't matter what you want to do. If you can't score the goals, that's a fundamental problem. Marcus Rashford missed sitter. Huge year for Marcus Rashford.
Yeah, because Rashford is making more money than Bruno, who is the captain and just re-signed a new contract.
Yeah, huge year for Marcus Rashford. It's imperative that Marcus Rashford delivers and deliver consistently for Manchester United. And it wasn't a good start in the Community Shield because the man missed some. I think he missed like two sitters.
Sitters, yeah.
Yep. On Saturday, Ipswich versus Liverpool. Who you got?
Liverpool.
And this is at Ipswich. Omari.
You know what? That's a draw game.
Draw game. Arsenal versus
first
Wolves.
game,
This is at Emirates Stadium. Arsenal going to beat up. Yep, Arsenal going to beat Everton, Brighton.
Everton.
And Newcastle, Southampton. Newcastle will start the season. You put $10 for Newcastle beating. No. Newcastle will take a L against Southampton. Southampton will start the season with an upset of Newcastle at St. James Park. Forest versus Bournemouth. West Ham versus Aston Villa is a big game on Saturday.
Yeah.
At London Stadium, so at West Ham. Big football game.
That's Lopetegui's opportunity to send a message to the league.
Yeah. And on Sunday, Brentford versus Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace, of course, lost Olise. I will say, and Mateta did play a lot of minutes in the Olympics.
Yeah.
And Mateta I like Mateta, a very workhorse striker, and him score. You know. And of course, the big game, Chelsea versus Man City at Stamford Bridge.
Big game. City has to send a message. People, with all the question marks around, I know Pep going to use it. Pep is going to use those charges and say the whole world is against us and galvanize the team. You know that is going to be Pep's message. Let's see if Chelsea, under the new leadership with their inflated squad, can stem the tide. Because I don't care how much players sign, it's only 10 of them can play in the outfield. So,
this is an important test. This could be a draw game or a win for Chelsea. And here's the reason why. These two teams played in the preseason and Man City dust them up. Let's see what Enzo Maresca learned from that football game. What adjustments he made for this real football game. Does Man City go into that game a little bit nonchalant, thinking that, we're bugside this, and subsequently Chelsea have a chance? Chelsea has a chance at home to kind of probably say to their fans, look, hang with us this season.
We know why City won't go in there nonchalant. They played a competitive game last week. It's a glorified preseason game, but it was a competitive game.
It was a competitive, yeah.
They are going to be already hitting the ground running already. So Chelsea is already on the back foot in that game.
Yeah. And Leicester City rounds out the weekend against Spurs at King Power Stadium.
Another return game for a team from relegation. That's why I say Ipswich might get something against Liverpool.
Liverpool.
I think Leicester will as well, because that is the one game, your first home game after getting promotion. Everybody going to be up fight. Remember, that's what Brentford did against Arsenal.
Yeah. The crowd is gonna be hyped.
Yeah.
For this game. EPL football back at the King Power Stadium, and no matter how we love EPL or love football in general, most football fans will tell you that they have a special place in their heart for Leicester City and what they did as the only team to do what they did in recent history. So, in winning the EPL,
and what they went through with the owner.
Yeah?
Or what they went through with their owner, or their beloved owner.
Yes, this is true. What the accident, tragic, sad accident. Maybe I shouldn't pick them to get relegated. La Liga. I'm gonna quickly look over La Liga. Call this one and how you think this thing going. Actually, La Liga kick off today with a couple of games. Girona and Getafe, Bilbao, Aleti and Real Betis, both in all 4 teams in action.
Yeah. Is Real Madrid's league to lose? It is Hansi Flick's opportunity to show that a foreign coach can coach Barcelona again. Because after an Atletico, I'm seeing a report that Atletico Madrid is interested in N'Golo Kante.
Not Atletico Madrid. West Ham was trying to get, to my understanding, N'Golo Kante.
Unless this is fake news.
We can look it up real quickly here. I know I saw something about West Ham, N'Golo Kante, and the people I'm saying this club said them to stay wide. Oh yeah, according to the Mail, Atletico Madrid open talks with N'Golo Kante's camp. Okay, did not see this one.
After Conor Gallagher failing Conor Gallagher's pursuit.
Okay.
So after that Euros that Kante had, and he showed that he can still do it at a higher level.
Okay. And this is probably N'Golo Kante now and go this look at this aside. This is a foolishness because
It's a challenge though. It's a good challenge. But yeah, so it's Real Madrid league for win. But Barca and Atletico Madrid, they are positioning themselves just in case Real Madrid suffer from the fat cat syndrome. They are creating space for Real Madrid to fall.
Yeah, Real Madrid to win the league. Definitely Real Madrid starts out as favorite for me. In terms of La Liga, of course, typically we know that this is normally a 2-horse race, but it's how close Barcelona is to this team. They've made a lot of transfers. The Barcelona have made a lot of transfers. Financially, it's important for Barcelona win football games and win them handedly and start win trophies, especially the big Ears Trophy Champions League. Girona did a lot of damage last year and upsetted a lot of people. Girona led the league for a while. We do expect Girona to take a step back this year. They've lost Savinho.
Right?
Yeah, Savinho to Man City. Now, some football fans are not a fan of that. Savinho to Man City from Girona. Girona is owned by 47% of Girona is owned by the same owners that own Man City. But Girona did play some good football last year. And I'm looking forward to see how they go about it. I am a little bit
up by anybody this year.
Yeah. I'm a little bit surprised that Zubimendi, hats off to Zubimendi, midfielder for Real Sociedad, for deciding to stay at his club. But Sociedad now gonna win. Them now win nothing. So it's a connection to a place, to an upbringing, to a way of life, to your yard, to your roots, and so I salute him for doing that. But we don't know Sociedad now win nothing.
But it's less stress. We're gonna Liverpool for after them lose an iconic coach. So there's ambiguity at the coaching staff, and you have all of those monsters in the EPL, monster teams you have to go up against. While in Spain have the best football team, and even arguably 2 of the best teams in the world, hands down. But after that, you already know you're not winning La Liga. So there's no pressure there, and you know you're not getting top 3. So it's not a whole lot of pressure there. I can understand the business decision somebody would make.
But Valladolid, I'm keeping a close eye on this football team because I think Ronaldo owned this team. R9. This is R9's team. Mm-hmm. And yes, President Ronaldo is not only the owner, but he's the president. He's head cook and bottle washer. And well, he owns 82% of Valladolid, and I want to see this team do well. I really, really want to see this team do well and stay up in La Liga. I really hope they do. So I'm looking forward to see. Like I said, I already signed up for ESPN Plus. Well, I didn't say that. I already signed up for ESPN Plus, and I will be watching La Liga more
You
closely.
get your money's worth.
Yeah, I'll be watching La Liga more closely this year. Mbappe. Definitely looking forward to see Mbappe. While we at it, family, the Serie A, quickly, we just run through them other leagues, yeah. Serie A also kicks off this weekend. Junior, Saturday is the big day for Serie A. Now, big up to all the Serie A fans. We don't do a good job of committing a lot of time to Serie A in a preview setup. Junior, Douglas Luiz is at Juventus. Antonio Conte is at Napoli. The first script. No major tournament for playing now. In terms of big headaches, give Antonio Conte that script and he's gonna win this league, right? At least this is. But they have to figure out this Victor Osimhen situation first.
And he should have been gone, but yeah, and the elephant in the room is Inter ran away with the league last year. So you're in a barrel like some crabs, trying to come out of it, and then once you separate yourself out of the barrel, you're going to now take up the chase of chasing Inter Milan, and then you have the issue of Victor Osimhen. So they need to sort it out. What is the market for him though? How many teams out there? Which teams out there willing to bring in a foreign striker that is up there in age? Because it's not like he's 22 anymore or 24. So it is one of those things where he might age himself out.
Yeah, word was. I mean, I think Chelsea is exploring the option. No, Chelsea always not everything. But as you rightfully mentioned, the situation around financial fair play, and you cannot. I don't think you can spread out a Victor Osimhen contract like you do with one of these younger players. So ultimately, Chelsea.
He's only 25 though. I thought he was older. He's only 25.
Victor what?
He's only 25.
Man, tap your foolishness, man.
He's only 20.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying, but tap your foolishness, brother.
Born of December 29, 1998. Wow.
Okay. Why hard life? Victor look old, brother.
Yeah.
AC Milan. Rossoneri.
A long trek forward. And they're taking the long road. When we talk about crabs in a barrel, they are one of those big crabs in the barrel that can't come out.
Rafael Leao Jr. What? Of course, they pick up Alvaro Morata. Christian Pulisic had an outstanding year last year. I mean,
Rafael Leao's problem is he can't play down the middle. That is his biggest problem right now. You shouldn't need to bring in Morata. Jovic should be just sitting on the bench doing nothing. Rafael Leao need to adjust his game. We'd have a virgin when I was living in Florida, and them used to call me too big. We used to play ball. And the man say, "Yo, you're too big for you to do so many things that you have to do on the field, brother." So they used to call me too big. I think Rafael Leao should be called too big to him. Too big for play the way he play. Yes, you're skillful. Yes, you can play on the wing and do all of these things, but you're better served going down the middle. If Aubameyang as a winger was a problem, Leo is the same problem times 50, in my opinion.
I mean, I think he's fine to play on the wing. The issue I have with Rafael Leao is this. It seems like it's self-motivation. There's an issue with Rafael in terms of he drops his game now and again. And it's almost like if it's not some teams, he don't feel motivated. And it's almost like he has arrived and him good. And it's a very talented player, but in order to achieve the upper echelon of success or make the next step in his career, I think Rafael Leao have to just become poisonous. As a winger, or if you want to go down the middle, okay, just have to become poisonous. And Rafael Leao, I think, is lacking that poisonous sort of ball mentality.
He has the Rashford problem.
Yes, he has the Rashford problem. And probably better than Rashford too.
Yes.
Probably better than Rashford, because Rashford sometimes can't control a ball. So who you have winning the Bundesliga, the Serie A family?
I'm Inter repeating, but if that they're not running away with the league this year.
So you have Inter repeating.
Yeah.
Not on Juventus watch.
Okay.
Not on Juventus and Thiago Motta watch. Juventus will win this league. By hook or crook, any scamming for go on, Juventus and Thiago Motta will win this league.
Well, and they do have an axe to grind, right?
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
They do have an axe to grind, especially with all the suspension and irregularities regarding accounting. So I have Juventus winning this league, but I wouldn't be also surprised if Napoli and Antonio Conte. The problem is, the question I have is which Antonio Conte we're going to get. Because if an argument jump off and he's distracted in fighting personal battles with people, that is going to be not good for Napoli. And we know that Napoli owner De Laurentiis is also a madman himself. So, boy, this is a long show now. One more league before we go my way. We're just going to touch the Bundesliga real quickly. It doesn't start this weekend. It starts next weekend. But in fact, I probably can part Bundesliga because it's all about Vincent Company and what they want to do.
Yeah, and how does the Bayern Munich squad respect him? That's a big jump for Company.
It's a big jump. Huge jump. And I mean, he has to. Vincent Company have to hit the ground running. Bayern Munich has to come out of the gate. Not just win football games handedly. In fact, they will play against in the DFB Pokal tomorrow against Ulm. And they need to batter bruise Ulm tomorrow, getting themselves ready for the Bundesliga. Because, yeah, you were saying?
There's a good warm-up game, and then they play the Grasshoppers Tuesday, and then they kick off against Wolfsburg. So you're right; they need to hit the ground running. And the first, the first 3 games, actually, the first 4 games is winnable, easily winnable, and then we have to mark our calendar. September 28th, they welcome Leverkusen.
Not just João Paulinho from Fulham. Fulham midfield will miss João Paulinho huge tomorrow against Manchester United. Let's see how they replace him. But also Michael Olise is at Bayern Munich Junior. 2 huge pieces to Vincent Kompany's Arsenal. AKA Big Guns.
And he's somewhat, Olise is somewhat surplus. So when you look at Bayern Munich and look at what they did in the transfer market, I have to ask, is it that the squad needed refreshing in terms of the players them got too comfortable with winning for 10 years straight and they need like a jolt? So they bring in Olise, who join the myriad of wingers that they have. I think that did they get the defender from Leverkusen? What's his name? They haven't completed the transfer yet.
Okay.
I know they tried to get Leverkusen's defender. I think his name is Pope or something like that.
Okay.
So and that was a hold up in the delete transfer, if memory serves me correctly. So Jonathan Tah. They wanted to get
Tah. Okay, yeah, because I also think he wants to make the move to also. So
yeah. So if Bayern gets Jonathan Tah, because I think their problem last year was they're too wide open under Tuchel. They were too wide open. When they go forward, they play pretty free-flowing football, but there was no organization. Upamecano, if we remember a couple of years ago, the sweepstakes, how every team was running him down, he looks a shell of his old self. You know, he's only 25. I thought Upamecano was older.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of years, but yeah.
But so they have to replace Eric Dyer, Kim Min Jae. So if they get Jonathan, if they get Tah, that brings some stability to the back four. Alphonso Davies is still up in the air. I know Real Madrid kicked the tires on him. We'll see. But they're in a state of flux. Musiala going to have to take the next step. He has to take the next step this year.
Yeah, but they can't be in flux. Last year they didn't win the league. A league that they've won 11 years in a row. Is to reclaim that role.
And not only that, they didn't even come in second. They came in third.
Third, yeah. So
yeah, did the squad need to refresh? We will see. Our company has his hands full.
Yeah, company does have a task on him ahead of him. Good luck to Vincent. Vincent does play entertaining and attractive football. We saw that at Burnley.
Yes.
And you know, in the Bundesliga, if last year was any indication, no one feared Bayern Munich. But again, last year they have a little brother who was out to sea in terms of coach. One minute he might do great, next minute he might do foolishness. So a lot remains to be seen regarding.
Mueller returning. So is he going to the coaching staff?
Well, just an assistant and just somebody. You have it's good to have some veteran in the locker room. Of course, Junior, the big question is about Leverkusen. Can they replicate what they did last year?
No.
No. I think that's a consensus. Most people don't expect them to.
But
I think at least though, it would be imperative for Leverkusen to at least win one trophy this year.
And they can still win the league.
And they still win the league, fine. But whether it's the Pokal, whether it's they won't win Champions League. Cause I was just gonna say win if they weren't, because they made it to the Europa final last year, right?
Yeah.
Lost.
To Atalanta.
Yes. So it's gonna be people know the formula against Leverkusen, and of course Granit Xhaka, another year old, that was instrumental to what they did last year. Also Dortmund on a new manager, Nuri Sahin. Nuri is good. Was good as a player, and now let's see if Nuri can translate his player role, some of his good attributes as a player into this team.
He'll be happy. Vincent Company is at Bayern Munich.
Yes,
that will give him time.
Yes.
That will give him time to fly under the radar and just figure his steps out.
Yes. Yes. He'll be happy that the Vincent Company is at the Leverkusen at Bayern and Xabi Alonso is at Leverkusen because the spotlight will be on those two teams for different reasons, right? The spotlight on Leverkusen from the vantage point, can they replicate or repeat? And then the spotlight will be on Vincent Company and Bayern be like, yo, brother, fix up on yourself. This is a Bayern Munich.
As a black man coaching.
Yes. But yeah, brother, him take on the responsibility too. So at the bottom line is that we are pulled for him. I did saw some videos of Vincent Company coaching at Burnley, and I didn't like how him a go a while up among them still. But
sometime while up off ago, and I saw the video too. And you know, he could have waited a year and be Man City's coach. He could have waited a year.
But he still could be. He still could be.
But for one,
still could be, because we don't know how. All right, whatever happened at Bayern Munich, I think he has what 2-3 years deal, right?
Yeah. But if he fails at Bayern Munich, he's not going to be. They won't want him at Man City because that's a failed coach. If he's successful at Bayern Munich, it's first. I remember it's 1 year and Pep gone next year.
Yeah. Okay. So, all right. Well, fine. Yeah.
It's a 1 year thing. So if he fails this year, Man City go and say, you got the opportunity and show that you're not ready for the Big Ten.
Yeah.
If he's successful this year and he leaves Bayern Munich, he probably can never fly back to Germany for his time life. So I don't think Man City is on the cards. I don't think so. And you're going to tell me that this will be the second time Bayern will be losing their coach to Man City? Nah.
No, all right. So I kind of look at that scenario a little bit different, Junior. Success or failure at Bayern Munich, I don't think will impact Man City's decision whether to bring him in or not. And the reason being is that he had success and with Burnley and playing attractive Man City like football. Right. So there I think because he's an old boy of Man City, aka a part of the institution, he's part of what Man City is now, right? So if he's successful at Man City, conversation can be had said way. Yo, Pep, I gone home, I take himself, come home my yard. If he fails if he's successful at Bayern Munich, Pep I go home, come my yard. If he fails at Bayern Munich, then you can forward to him and take a different angle, say, yo, Pep I go home. We know you have the attributes to coach because we've seen you. We have leadership in place to help you and guide you at Man City. Tichy and Burgess and Soriano, them man structurally are behind the scene doing some of the heavy lifting for Man City. And so you will be allowed more freedom to kind of grow at Man City, whereas Bayern Munich is a cutthroat thing right now. Vincent Kompany right now, if we circle back next year, if Vincent Kompany does not win the Bundesliga, the question will be asked, should Vincent Kompany stay at Bayern Munich? And the simple reason is because Bayern Munich has won this league 11 years in a row.
But I think Bayern's brass is savvy and smart enough to know that it's not an overnight thing to make up almost 20 points in 1 year. You can't. That's not happening. So it's going to take a tremendous fall from Leverkusen for Bayern Munich to win the league. I don't even think we'll talk about Kompany and Bayern's coaching. It will be more a question mark for Leverkusen and that 1 year wonder for them to because Leverkusen can probably win the league and win it by under 5 points and be disappointed with the year based on last year. So for them to lose it, or for Bayern Munich to snatch the league from them in 1 year, that's too much of a ask. But we'll see.
Yeah, man, we'll see. But the thing is that, remember, we saw Bayern Munich leadership sack Julian Nagelsmann, German, and one of the fancier managers, probably more high profile than Vincent Kompany when he took over that position, right? Because he left RB Leipzig and took over Bayern Munich. And, high flying football. Whereas Vincent Kompany come from Burnley. Burnley compared to Leipzig, I mean, come on. But they sacked him and they were winning the league at the time, if I'm not mistaken. But and they told this brother Thomas Tuchel, say, brother, you're gone from mid wherever. From what? January they told him that he was out of a job, pretty much. And he got them deep run into the Champions League. So Bayern Munich brass, them man, they're no nonsense. Uli Hoeneß and the leadership at Bayern Munich, they're cutthroat. So, but Vincent Kompany, one of the things that he's very good at is Vincent Kompany, the player, and Vincent Kompany, the coach, are very demanding. They leave it all on the grass.
They're leaders. They're leaders. These are leaders.
Yeah, and you expect the same thing from his Bayern Munich outfit. Alphonso Davies, before we go, reports Real Madrid have prepped or offered 35 million one time. Now they've upped it to 50 million pounds. Quickly, does Alphonso go or stay?
He's 30 years old. I think Kompany will help him back.
Okay.
You're not going to get that money again for him. 50? You're not getting that money. He will help him back.
Not going. Yeah. You have to, because this is final year, right?
Yeah.
You have to. So you have to pretty much move him because January you're gone for free. Yep. January you're gone for free. You have to pretty much move. English Premier League kicks off tomorrow, family. Before we go my way out, any final thoughts, family, on the Bundesliga or any other league or we just touch?
No, it's just French League One. We'll see if them still in existence after next year.
French league in a spot about it because as far as I know, their TV right situation is a mess. French league TV right, I think in parts of Europe, there's no reliable TV coverage for the French league, and in France itself, I know the cost by the DNZ, the carrier, is ridiculous. So the French league is now spot about our family. Spot about us. And it's sad because you lose your most. This is one of the caveats or the downfall of leagues competing with each other, right? You lose one of your most marketable assets. Here to put it to that level, but the people who watch football a lot of times sometimes watch because Kylian Mbappe are playing a league. And neutral do watch Kylian Mbappe. And so and now he's gone over to La Liga. So that's a benefit for La Liga.
But that is why they're changing up the wage structure. And now teams will have to recruit players not with money, but with offers that they can help that the players can parlay into better things. So I think I said it last year. Mbappe will be the last big money transfer. There would not be any other transfer like that ever again. 60 million, 50 million might be the norm for the big money players moving forward.
Yeah. English Premier League kicks off tomorrow, family. EPL action. Manchester United versus Fulham. Old Trafford. Bookies have Manchester United as a favourite. Marcus Silva and Fulham Bogside. But Dexter Dapp, a.k.a. Bobby Cordova-Reid, have something for them. Junior, I hit that, we're getting ready for going. We are on a BallChat back. Well, we do a special long show tonight. People might as well enjoy because it's not going to be this long again.
Yeah, it's 1 hour show Sunday.
It's not gonna be long, but we give thanks. Give thanks to all the new subscribers. Big up yourself. This is BallChat football show. We focus on football. And during the off season, we spoke a lot on track. We spoke about the Olympics and why Jamaican athletes them salt up. Got certain salt sprinkled on them. But big up to the soup one.
My soup one.
Yeah, man. So Manchester United versus Fulham tomorrow, and TV coverage is on USA and Universario. By the way, Junior, public service announcement again. The cost of streaming for English Premier League will go up $2 this year. Peacock coverage will go from $5.99 a month to $7.99 a month, family. Unless you get Peacock free through Comcast, which
just don't buy a bag juice.
don't buy a bag juice. And of course, ESPN has increased to $10.99 a month. Of course, you can do the annual if you want and get it for $100 or whatever. But yo, it's PAT free going around here, and I think the Paramount Plus went up also.
But I don't think so. Okay. Or maybe they did. I think all streaming services went up, but Paramount shut down the studios. So and right now they're saying it's not affecting Paramount Plus. Now Paramount Plus is a subsidiary of Peacock, which was weird because
so Paramount and Peacock, two separate entities, right?
No. Paramount Studios, yes, we know Paramount Studios. They shut down. So there were questions about I think Paramount is getting absorbed by some other production company. So Paramount Plus isn't changing. But I did read somewhere that they're either a subsidiary or there's some connection between them and Peacock. There was something that I saw behind the scenes.
Paramount Studios?
Paramount Studios is closing, yes.
Or Paramount and Peacock?
Paramount and Peacock, I believe.
Oh, so there's supposed to be I think they were not merging. There's a bundle deal or something of the sort, because I think it was to combat some sort of TNT, ESPN, and somebody else. Right,
because of the NBA, NBA package, and Peacock is bringing back NBA. So NBC is getting back NBA.
Yes. So Paramount Plus and Peacock are in talks, or this was way back, way back in March. So I don't know how them talks were going. They were in talks to kind of collaborate more and partner in streaming services.
Right. But I know the studio shut down.
Okay.
So there's a lot going on. And it's funny because Paramount TV studio shutting down amid restructuring and layoffs. So the streaming craze came up, and it's sure done. But I used to work for the cable company, and did you know the FCC regulates? They regulate cable companies because of the Communication Act, but you couldn't have a monopoly, right? Where cable companies back then, they normally, like Cox Communications, they have cable. Cox is very similar to Comcast, but they also own Auto Trader, and they also owned Atlanta Journal-Constitution at one point. They ran the risk of having a monopoly. But one thing you guys will notice is you can never have two cable companies competing for one house. That will never happen. That's against the law. That's part of the FCC rules. That's how you control the fees, because there's no competition for communication, right?
So the two cable companies are owned by the same person, right?
No. Cable Comcast and I don't know if Comcast and no Cox is owned by is the Cox
Warner
dealer?
brother, Warner.
No, not Warner. The old time train line people. That those are who started Cox. But it is how streaming came around is people got mad at the bundles because you will be paying $150 and cable companies will look at you and say go digital and you get 500 channels. But when you think about it, you only watch like 10.
Yeah, you only watch a few, yeah.
So when people start lick out against the cable companies and brought it to Congress said, all right, a la carte. Let's figure out an a la carte system. And the cable company took a while to build a la carte system. And that opened the door for streaming. I think HBO was the first, was one of the first, I think it was the first network to go up, to bring an app in. And when the app hit, and you had the advent of smart TVs and internet TVs, HBO said, oh, let's figure out to put the app on the TV. And that's what opened the door for streaming. But we go around to say all of this now to say, what end up happening now is with streaming become popular, everybody starts streaming. The streaming companies start acting like cable companies, where me gonna have NBC, but me not gonna have ABC. And then now we start having cable companies all over again, and you're paying the same price. So people just prepare to pay the same amount of money. And FCC will soon come in because I am predicting FCC will come in because smart TVs, this will be their way in. Smart TVs have the internet, and with the FCC, with the way they get into companies is they regulate emergency services. So anything that you have to decipher an emergency message to the population, they have a right, for the government have a right to come in and say, we have to control this. So we have a smart TV, if you're connected to the internet, they can send an emergency notification. You remember how we have cable, how you had the weekly test and them, something that was mandated by the FCC. You notice they don't have it for any streaming channels, right? You've never heard that on any. It's coming. Trust me, it's coming. So that's when the government will come in and they will regulate it. It's easy now because $7.99, you bump $5.99 to $7.99 is very easy. You can sneak that $2 out. But when the government sit down and say, yeah, if one person spend $2, that's fine. But when it's 400 million people spending it, who getting that 800 million extra? Yes, how this going? It's a lot. It's a lot. And Huawei, look up Huawei. It don't spell that way. It spell HA something whatever. But Huawei, the Chinese company, they came in again. This was 2010 when we used to work for the cable company. So they came in and they were supposed to implement. If you remember Comcast, I think Comcast still do it, offer cell phones, right?
Yeah.
And they were supposed to bundle. So Huawei was supposed to come in and implement the cell phone technology within the cable company infrastructure. But again, phones, FCC regulated. You have to be able to call 911. That's how FCC get involved.
Yeah.
When them do the background check, then realize that Huawei's president, the woman, was a Chinese spy.
Yeah, I remember yeah.
So that's how me did lose my job. That's how Cox did do the layoffs because they spent money with Huawei and it ended up being a scammer company. So it's a lot. And I think the streaming is getting out of hand with these streaming companies. And the FCC is going to come in and say, wait, there's too much money going on. I was cool with Netflix, I let in HBO, Hulu, you're all right. But what the backside are going over there, so Peacock and Paramount, why they can't upon Hulu or Ray?
Yeah.
It's coming.
Yeah. Chris Moore of World Soccer Talk reporting that on July 2nd that the merger between Peacock and Paramount Plus did happen, but Paramount Plus is still looking for partners to merger with.
Yeah.
So basically, Paramount needs somebody to help cover some of the costs and get some more money. It's a bit surprising that they do have a lot of content. I'm not sure how the money go regarding the earnings. I know Champions League should make a lot of money for them, but I don't know about the other stuff.
I feel the movies, the Paramount Pictures movies. Cause remember they brought all their movies to the app, and you're spending $6 to watch Top Gun. And remember, some of the movies them premiere straight on Paramount Plus, multi-million-dollar movies, and you pay $5 when before you pay $20 at the movie theater.
Movie theater.
So all of them things just coming into play, and how you invest money. So actors are gonna start balls soon. There's a lot going on.
Yeah. All right, family. That's the rundown of streaming. Of course, Peacock will increase to $7.99 this month. In fact, you know, I got pay for $1 from certain people and cover Peacock a month. Manchester United versus Fulham tomorrow at 3 p.m. On USA. EPL kickoff, football weekend, club football is back. BallChat, club football show, our football show, Sunday, 5 p.m. Eastern time. Junior, boy, that's now ready for go my way out. We're going to do a massive recap this Sunday because it will be a lot to discuss.
But it's not a 3-hour show though.
No, definitely not any 3-hour show. Big up to all the people who stayed with us for 3 hours. Big up on yourself. Hopefully all the Arsenal fans will have a wonderful year in the EPL. Man United, a regular. In fact, Ajax 2.0 over at Manchester United. Good luck.
It's better than what was there before. And Brannick, you are right, and we are having open heart surgery.
Okay, all right. Keep the open heart surgery going. All right, family, connect with us on Instagram at BallChat Podcast, where you know wherever you get social media. BallChat did that. We don't have to go through this every time. We did that. Email us at ballchatpodcast@gmail.com. What? Yeah. And and subscribe, smash the like button, tell a friend about the show for the few who are still there part. Yo, I'm tired. Yo, football tomorrow. Look more, family.